Good morning, a little bit earlier than usual. We're live with the mid-season update show.
Update show.
Man, I'll be joined soon.
Tell me if it's too loud or quiet.
SMITE to see exactly what we've got going on this patch. We've got a lot of stuff coming in this patch with regards to ranked updates, new item tree to talk about, alongside a ridiculous amount of a ton of god balance and rework potential things as well to talk about. But first of all, let's have a little look at some of the skins that you may be able to see in the patch coming up. We're going to see Power Up Hera first of all.
Is that Hera?
Screen. That looks amazing.
Why does she have a gun?
I'm excited to see that one in game. Not only that, we'll have Fun Apocalypse Jabelong. What?
Oh my god.
That looks a little bit.
That's a good skin.
Okay, that's a little bit scary. Fun Apocalypse Jabelong. Okay, yes, that's Jabelong. Okay. Following that, it's Sweetie Pie Soul. Yes, she's got all the candy on show once more.
Wait, who was that?
And then
was that
following that, we'll also see some Sweet Justice Nemesis.
Oh my god.
She's very sweet. Oh, back to Hera again real quick for a second. And then we'll see Rematch Hera is what it is this time round. Following Rematch Hera, we'll also have Zappy Chibi Zeus. Yes, Chibi skin.
That's a very good skin.
A little cute love heart too. Love the card art with these. Spirit Sun Hoagie. And not just Spirit Sun Hoagie. Yes, there's still 4 more skins to go. Snow Strix Raw.
Oh my god.
I like it.
Why do we get fucking Christmas skins and winter skins? Oh, I need to play Erlang Shen.
Erlang Shen, we've got the one that I saw.
Oh, Sylvanus.
Infantry Sylvanus.
No way,
the deadliest tree this side of the Atlantic. And last but certainly not least, the great Tengu Kernanos will also be available in
I thought that was set. Why are they doing a set
that's
skin?
enough for the skins for the time being. It's
surely doing a set skin with
the most important part of this section. That's all about the balance and updates you're going to see to SMITE
Infantry
in the coming months. And to do so, I'm going to be joined by some lovely guests on the casual set today. It's none other than Pom Pom, Clumsy, and AJ. Gentlemen, how are we doing today? Are you all prepared and ready?
Oh yeah,
it's early, but I'm ready.
Feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm excited by where we're going to start off with today.
That's
insane. We're going to start off with some ranked updates first of all. First thing to mention is the queue time is going to be going down. We're going to be reducing the queue time from 9 minutes to 7 minutes.
Oh my god.
The note here says that ranked is in a healthier state than it has been for a while, showing MMR and changes to the progression pacing seem to be going well. We can likely reduce the queue time now.
Rank you.
So it's coming down from 9 to 7 minutes. Is that just to try and speed things up, guys? Is that what it's about?
Yeah, so that's what a lot of these changes are aimed to do. Is
I remember when it was 12 minutes, and I remember when I was in queue for 30 minutes sometimes.
Into a queue, and they have to go into a lobby, and the lobby can take some time, and so we just want to make sure that
and they're adding bans as well.
Quicker to get actually into the action. And as a note, it's something that we might experiment with more as the patch continues. We might actually try different times and push it lower and lower, and see how low we can actually push the queue before we actually start hindering matchmaking.
Pun is so clean. I actually agree. Okay, he looks quite young. How young?
We know this is
a old is he, Pom Pom?
But there is just a factual correlation between queue time and matchmaking quality. Yep. It fluctuates a bit based on region and time of day. But we want to do our best to
tell me if I have to move the game, by the way.
Wait time as much as possible, so we're trying to speed up lobbies.
Nice toilet mic. Toilet mic.
Just make sure people get in the game.
Now,
that's the same microphone I have. That's the Shure microphone.
The amount of bans
I have that one
in
as
your
well.
game in the ranked modes. We're going to be increasing the ban count from 8 to 10 in all ranked modes. So in Conquest, there's going to be 2 additional bans at the end of the first ban phase. Joust the same way. Duel also, but it's only 1 phase of bans there.
Joust and Duel getting more bans as well.
This new ban system, but options will exist in custom games to use previous and lower count ban systems. Gentlemen, why the increase in bans?
More bans, more gods, more bans, right?
Yep.
This is something the community's been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, quite a bit. We see it, from the higher levels play as well as just casuals on social media, and we've got a lot of gods now. We've been pumping them out, so I think that means a few more bans will help in the competitive scene.
Yep.
So more bans can have a difficult to predict outcome. We expect that certain gods we're gonna see their ban rate increase. We want the community to be aware of that going forward. Now, since we're just adding bans, it might give us some weird sense of balance, right?
It can be a bit problematic
with we're gonna have more 100%
the popular gods
pick ban type of scenarios in SPL, and that's not gonna mean that the game's less balanced. it's just going to be that we added more bans. I'm sure people are going to make that mistake. I'll be correcting people on Reddit and Twitter all day, but want to talk about it up front. We want to be honest, you know.
The one thing I'm a bit scared is like, let's say the popular strong gods like Merlin, Quang is like literally going to be banned every game. Which I don't mind, but let's say you want to play Merlin, you want to play ranked, it's literally going to be impossible to get the popular gods.
And the ability to block out more picks, which actually should open up a lot of viability in the lower end and the middle parts of the god.
Betting hell after.
So you can box out more gods that counter you, that might make more wide variety of solo laners available. We're hoping that we end up seeing some more variation. We hope we'll see a lot of positive outcomes from this as well as we know the community just been wanting it, been asking it, so this should be a fantastic feature.
Well, the other thing on this list as well is quicker draft lobbies. Obviously, even with the bans increasing, we're trying to lower the amount of time you spend picking and banning, and so what we're going to be seeing here is decrease the pick time from 30 seconds to 20 seconds, decrease the ban time from 30 seconds to 15 seconds, and also increase, though, the bank time from 30 seconds to 40 seconds. So that's just
bank time 30 to 40.
With adding more bans, we want to make sure the lobby didn't take much longer, and it's already been like
I feel like it's already long.
Where the lobbies can take a long
Am I
time.
confused here?
I did the math on it. It's about 10 minutes if everyone goes to like max time. Even with these new bans, these new numbers actually push that max time down to 7 minutes, so pretty heavy reduction. And because there's a lot quicker pace, and you have to make a lot more quick decisions and what bans you're going to do and what picks you're going to do, we want to give a little bit of extra bank time so that people can discuss things when they're actively trying to pick and ban. That's
fair. The last thing I've got on this list of ranked updates as well is reset logic, but there's no notes.
We're going to make some adjustments to how we're resetting at a split. Last split was a little too intense.
Yeah, last split was pretty fucked up. I went down to 1500.
Big change. Your MMR is not going to change as much on this next split reset.
Ooh.
And we're going to continue to look into TP and promotion progress throughout the upcoming splits to see if we can smooth this out. I think the combination MMR TP has been really successful so far. Like Pon mentioned at the beginning, we've had a lot of people playing ranked. We've had a lot of people appreciating this more feedback about their skill as they're changing. But it's a complicated system, and there's a lot of ways to be balanced, and we're still working the finer points out.
What the fuck? Well, isn't that invite to
now? But now we're going to move on to... Well, I'm surprised.
That's pretty good changes for ranked.
Yeah, I'm opening it up now again. I just took my food down.
Oh, what are you eating?
One of the things that is
some
always
nice
like,
chicken,
what are we be doing
bit of potatoes, you know.
The good old one.
Yeah, the good one.
How do you want to say it?
New item tree.
Sounds better when you say it.
I know.
Oh
wait, have you not seen this already?
Yeah, I've seen it already. Gonna be excited for the stream. Oh my god, new item tree.
What, a new item tree? That's crazy.
Oh my god.
The numbers and such.
Yeah, so I think the big goal of this tree was to bring something first unique to items. Items in our game often have these kind of more passive effects. You don't have much control over when they activate, and so we wanted to give some players a way to like actually use the effect when they really, really want to.
Oh
and
my
often
god.
it comes with using your ultimate ability. And so these new item trees focus on when you use your ultimate ability, you will gain an effect that is unique to each class and is often class defining. It'll help classes focus their identity more. Mask kind of broadened it.
That's a pretty weird name though.
F.A.Q. These items more focus your goal towards your class.
Yeah, I feel like going with the new
this item tree is really exciting because
tree.
Well, it's themed all around King Arthur and Camelot and those legends. The items are themed in that way. And their gameplay applications are different than anything else.
I see.
These items are grouped together in a tree, even though they have very different stats. There's a tank one, an assassin one, a mage one, an assassin warrior, and a hunter one, all in the same tree. But they all share the same kind of passive trigger, which occurs only when you fire your ultimate, and it has a cooldown, so it'll work with stancers and things like that.
Gotcha.
So although you're going to see different stances or different types of stats in this tree, the items are all connected through that sense. And items have really far-reaching implications in the game, right? Because any god can build these new items. So we're gonna see a lot of meta shifts, we expect, and a lot of characters go up and down based on these items.
Okay.
It's pretty nice that we're gonna see new guards now because of the new item tree.
To build the whole item, you're gonna have to get tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Oh, you mean like new gods being played?
Yeah, I mean hopefully it's gonna switch that up, right?
I mean, yeah, I hope so.
Tier 2 is where it'll branch off then. Honed Edge
Gem
will
of
cost
Fate.
1600 gold and have 10% cooldown reduction and 30 physical power.
Does the item at 900 gold just give 10% cooldown reduction?
Yeah, that's a bit.
That's not. You can get 10% cooldown reduction with Mage Blessing for 700, and then also get power and.
1600 gold.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Oh wait, this is the mage one. This one's insane.
And 25 magical protections. And that's where we get to our very first tier.
Is that 3 different tier 2s or what?
Ready at home.
Yeah, I think they're doing all 3.
Oh, so it's like the same as Boomba's mask.
Builds from
thing.
honed
Yeah, I think so. They cost a lot more than Boomba's, another 400 gold.
Fail not.
20.
Like that name.
Fail not.
Zap, you listening? 2,800 gold is how much it'll cost. 20%
Honda owned it.
reduction. 50 physical power.
Oh wait, this is
25% chance to crit. And passive.
Maybe that's like a Schönebug item, right? Because you don't really want cooldown reduction on most hunters, but Schönebug with cooldown reduction is pretty good.
It's the passive mainly. The passive's kind of insane.
Oh yeah, that's true. I've seen the passive.
Yeah.
Trigger once every 45 seconds.
Yep, and one important note is it says ability, but also basic attacks will trigger this as well. So any damaging basic attack or ability that you cast.
Now, we should be able to see this in game real quick, and you guys can talk me through a little bit more about what the idea of this is. Obviously, it's after you use your ultimate, so like a World Weaver with Neath here, you're going to get bonus crit chance.
Yep. And so the goal here is really to focus
bonus
on
crit chance and get one crit.
Niche that hasn't really existed for the
yeah, she's got like 40% crit.
Builds.
Unlucky.
It has a lot
I've seen more with 5%, like they have that one item.
Yeah. Oh, he gets like an aura around him or what?
And allowing you to kind of like
that's pretty cool.
around with that stat distribution to try
and what the fuck, that's pretty nice.
And not only
now she get the crits.
It's a critical strike
debuff
to the target to make them take critical strikes, which means other characters that haven't built crit yet, including maybe Ymir, could crit.
You can make other people crit that item.
This item will impact your teammates' chance to crit as well, not just you.
It's a crit.
The thing you can only get this on hunters,
target, not a crit buff to you.
Did I just read it wrong?
So as you see,
you
read it.
That's pretty. Schönebug is gonna be OP.
What I don't understand, can the mages crit?
Yeah. Did you say Ymir can crit?
Green crosshair.
Oh, sick.
On the Odin target. If you get a little closer, please. After the damage, first damage triggers, you can put that green crosshair. That means you're fail knotted. That means you can be crit by anyone who hits you, including minions and jungle camps. Last I checked.
What? That's pretty cool though.
You're telling me Fire Giant can crit?
Basic attack with his basic attack.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, just give me Geb who you every game.
Yeah, Geb is OP, dude.
I'll be honest, I wasn't too excited about it because hey, it's an ultimate, on a hunter. I'm like, all right, cool. So Neef's gonna use a World Weaver and crit afterwards. That's not gonna be effective, but she could now ult across the map and then give that person crit chance to
well, just to clarify, for all of these items,
Chronos crit with Polymonicon.
And then follow up.
Let's go, dude.
It doesn't just attach to your ultimate.
Gotcha.
All of these items require additional playmates after the ultimate. So in this examples which you saw gameplay, he was firing the World Weaver. That's not applying the fail knot. That's just activating the fail knot passive.
That's wrong.
Then the next ability or basic
No. You activate your ultimate, then you get the aura, and then you need to hit another ability. So if you Schönebug ultimate, go there, go to sword lane, and then hit the ability. Then they're gonna be hit by the passive.
What about the assassin one then? So I thought that worked as soon as you fired the ult.
I don't remember the one. It's like fucking 3 weeks or something since I read it.
Okay. I'll wait till they explain it then. They might.
Edge, and it's for the warriors and assassins.
Warrior assassin only.
It'll cost 2,600 gold. It'll have 10% cooldown reduction, 55 physical power, and the passive.
Hey, this is the one.
After casting your ultimate ability, reveal all enemies within 120 feet of you. While moving towards revealed targets, you will gain 30% increased movement speed.
Holy shit.
When a revealed enemy takes damage
from dude, set with that ultimate.
Take an additional plus 30% of your physical power.
I don't know if it works like as he casts it or after it goes off.
And this can trigger
what's up, Shabman?
So this is really good for
I guess they're gonna show it.
A potential counter again.
Yeah, because it's like Fana passive where you move quicker towards.
We had a lot of interesting use cases of this when we were
what the fuck?
Oh yeah, of course they pick her for it.
Full smoke, dude.
Yo, that's the same screen as like Jormungandr in this.
By just chase them down and then bursting them with an additional follow-up from Erendite. So this
they just fucking covered and made it like golden instead.
Using your ultimate ability to engage and then
dude, that's pretty OP.
The back line, and that extra movement speed you get for chasing targets is pretty potent.
Is it only you?
I miss the relic system where you could just show the enemy team. Or the rituals, wasn't it?
They will be
wait, what was that one?
To your entire team.
The old rituals that were in the game where you could like TP to allies or
yeah,
reveal the enemy.
On those Odins, that's triggering
I remember the fucking TP to teammates.
Yeah.
Get that debuff on them. Then you can see the post-process effects on the Hercules. That's to let you know that you are in the erudite state, and you can run down these targets faster if you run toward them.
Right, you've got the
pretty cool item though. It doesn't give tankiness, right? It just gives power and the cooldown action.
Yeah, power and cooldown. It costs a lot as well.
Second hits.
Yeah, 55 power is pretty good
this
though.
Is a really cool ability for assassins. Jump
How much
into
does
the back
shifters
line,
cost?
alt somebody.
2400 and that's 70.
Start to scatter and let your team follow up.
But this gave movement speed, and you also get like some power or something when you use ultimate.
Them, and you'll know exactly where they're going.
Okay, we're 2 of these items in.
Yeah, these are intense. These are exciting.
Yeah.
Two more. We still have the Mage one and the Guardian one.
Oh, there's 2 more. There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Only is this what this one says? It's Staff of Mirdim.
Wait, there's a Guardian?
Yeah.
Oh, I know the Guardian one.
I just want to make sure I get it right. Staff of Mirdim builds from the apprentice staff. This is going to be 20.
100 power.
10% cooldown reduction.
208.
Magical power. The passive. After casting your ultimate ability, your next ability, non-ultimate ability cast within the next 10 seconds will have no cooldown, but will only hit for 70% of its normal damage and heal for 70% of its normal healing. Can trigger once every 45 seconds. So I cast my ultimate and then I fire my ability. The next ability I cast, I get a free cast of it, and then I can cast it again.
Yes, so that same ability that you cast will be able to cast again. You can dual cast. So if you
double
have,
cast.
Yeah, double cast. If you
twin cast.
Yeah. Twin cast, nice.
Whatever word you want.
Oh, double fucking root and Nox.
Nox
Yep.
can ult, and
Oh,
then
she can't
one,
even.
And then one someone else.
Yeah, you gotta use it twice back to back.
2 and 2 again.
Yes, you can ult and 2 and 2
Wait,
again.
wouldn't this be OP on Acne?
You can ult, knock up.
Oh, no,
Yeah, it'd be kind of
what have
naughty.
you done?
It does have a
I'm trying to think of all the
45-second
combinations.
cooldown. What do you
Yeah,
mean, like
there's gonna
stunning
a
them
lot of
twice?
different ways you can use this item.
Some guardians can use it really effectively, like double your mirror wall. You
Wait,
block a
Gab.
path off, and then they go a different.
I just want to point out, it is 2,800
gold.
gold.
Will often die, so like the first one will fade and the second one will appear. So there's rules that you'll have to learn while playing this item. But
Yo,
there's a lot of
if they
interesting
double
cases on the
Nox dash
surface
into
aren't
somebody,
immediately
that's
apparent,
kind of
but there's
crazy.
A wide array of applications that you can
Nox dash, then wait till you get out and Nox dash again. There's like
Yeah.
16 seconds.
This item has a lot
Yo,
of
that's
applications
at
and a
least
lot
like
of learning
2,400
experiences to go
damage.
along with it.
But it's pretty risky to build this on a Guardian, right? Because it's just power and cooldown action. It doesn't give anything else.
You can only build this on mages, right?
It says
Is
Mage
it
and Guardian.
Oh, mage and guardian.
It
Okay.
says that on the screen at least.
Well, then you're just gonna get double Bacchus flops.
And the gods that you
I
play
can
against.
Oh my god, Bacchus full power, dude.
Which I'm not excited for.
That would definitely work out.
Correct. But then you'll be investing into
I thought they said Mage item only in the start, but then add a Guardian to it.
Yeah, that's what I
But if
thought.
you're
That's
playing
kind
that
of
solo
silly.
or jungle Geb, which you know people pull out,
or Bacchus.
Don't try and shake.
I'm glad they're adding these items though.
Creative
That's some fun.
I think that
Yeah.
item certainly has
Hopefully
some
there's not
potential,
gonna be any like
certainly.
item that's too OP, because it's annoying playing against like OP items.
They have a lot
Yeah,
of,
yeah, I
flexible
agree.
applications and a lot of different ways to use them, and you're gonna have to.
It might
think this one
be,
it's a little bit
might
more
get nerfed a bit.
in-game.
yeah, it might be pretty strong on Merlin as well.
Working the way you
Like, don't I reckon
And-
double arcane one? You literally one-shot late game then.
kind of break.
That's the thing, you need to-
the
oh,
games,
wait.
so-
So, like,
Yeah.
Switch form, Usha 1, Usha 1.
Tried to use in our early
Mhm.
tests, but Argus doesn't go on cooldown until Argus dies, and so this effect occurs after your ultimate goes on cooldown.
Gotcha.
So some characters have more innate synergy with this item, where their abilities work a bit more
I
favorably.
look like an
But
offense.
if you want to play Hera and then kind of
Wait, what is that,
use your
Cloud?
ultimate in a really aggressive way and just have Argus die so you can get double cast, that's something that you'll have to learn to do with this item.
Double
Should we
polymorph
spend
sounds
out?
good.
have a much longer extended fight and still get that power play. It's just
Yeah.
not going to be at the same timing.
I think it looks pretty.
Play around a little bit
Pretty
basically
nice.
with this as much as
Right.
possible.
And
I'm
people-
sure you guys at home will do your very best at trying to break this.
She's super friendly in real life as
It'll
well.
happen for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's it for Staff of Mid. And next up, though, is Pridewin, is the last one on this list. And this is going to build.
Dude,
out
if
the
I
Nox
play against a
shield.
full
It's
damage
gonna cost
Sylvanas,
2,400 gold, and this is for all classes.
just double twos
20%
me.
cooldown reduction.
That's like,
45%
what,
Protection,
Easily
45
2.5k
magical
damage.
And after casting your ultimate ability, you
I
get
wonder,
a
but that's not gonna
large
stack, is
shield
it?
equal
Like,
to
the
your
dot is not gonna stack 2 times, is it?
for 5
I don't
seconds.
know.
When this shield breaks,
I don't know if it
either
does.
by timing
Yo,
the
wait,
ball being
Fafnir.
completed,
Can he
it
double?
explodes and deals magical
He can
damage
double,
equal to
too.
50% of the shield's health.
Yeah, but it's only gonna
Targets
stack
up
once per guy,
25%
per person.
for 3
Oh,
seconds.
what?
It's gonna
No, that's no
trigger
fun.
Once every 45 seconds. So this is a catch-all for everybody. So if you do end up
20% cooldown action for 2,400 gold.
you will get the shield effect.
But you only get
Wait, that's all
protections.
classes.
So for
Oh,
me,
wait,
it's
is this
just
the
like
shield
you
one?
wanna build more
Yeah.
protections, just use
Yes, so this is the focus towards the kind of frontline tank role. It is
20% kill reduction.
And all classes essentially have 2 items they can build: Pride Win and whatever was specific to their class. And this innately works off.
How much shield is it?
Be the frontline tank.
I think it's based off both protections put together.
Higher base stats that'll all influence that shield's health and ability to deal damage. And of course, shield health, it becomes more effective the more protections you've built anyway. So there's a lot of synergy towards building and optimizing this kind of.
This one with Golden of Thieves early game. Then you have 95, actually 105 of each protection. 300 extra health and 20% cooldown reduction.
I was still discussing we possibly limit
It's kind of crazy. If you get characters with like Sylvanas as an example again.
Oh my god.
I do Lotus Crown.
So you're gonna have that shield around you. You taunt them towards you. The shield depletes. You explode.
Holy shit, dude.
Them, you taunt them again.
But wait, does this happen when you use ultimate or normal spells? It's ultimate only, right?
It's all, yeah.
Still pretty strong.
I want to see if it stacks with Michael.
It's okay, we're a little zoomed out, but and we can only see which one's per class.
It explodes and deal damage as well.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, those are cool looking trees as well.
Yeah.
That's nice. Good artwork.
Followed by Erendite, which is
Lancelot sword.
I know that
which
one.
is legendary. Why?
Because it's
Lancelot had it.
sword.
You gotta have said to never miss. You gotta have a little catchphrase, Pun.
Erendite was actually one of those items that was like it's Lancelot sword, and that's pretty much all it was.
All right, well,
But it's still cool.
especially sharp.
Lancelot's
He
important.
still made Marion with it. That's all you got to say. It'd be fine.
And then we have the Staff of Mirrodin, which is Merlin's ancient Celtic source of power.
Yeah,
right.
Because the god has earlier roots even than Arthurian.
Yep,
and then finally
we have Pride Win, which is King Arthur's shield. So this is the shield he uses to defend Camelot. It's the shield that he uses to defend his kingdom.
I mean,
So OP, he can't have
Hebo's gonna be pretty strong with that ultimate as well if it's double knockup.
Excalibur, he can't have 2 artifacts.
Yeah, I'm not excited to play against these.
Well, that's it for the new item tree. There is still plenty.
They luckily
of
look pretty
items
cool, all the
to go
shit.
on to
Like,
now.
artwork
We've got
wise.
another item to actually speak about straight
The
up,
thing
which
is, you are
gonna be
paying a lot of gold
Contagion.
just
Is the very
for
first item
like
that I'm gonna be talking
cooldown
about.
and
Is this
prop.
the only other new item being
That is
introduced
true.
today?
Correct. This is the only other new item.
And it's Contagion. Here's the stats for it. You'll recognize a lot of this all of a sudden. This builds out of the silver
Ooh.
breastplate, I should say. It costs 2,050 gold, 60 physical protection, 100 health, 250 mana, 15 MP5, and the aura, which is the thing of Contagion. Enemy gods within 55 units have their healing reduced by 25%. This
Wait, there's a new item as well.
Pestilence. So as you can tell, this
What?
is physical pestilence, boys and girls.
Correct.
Yeah.
Physical
Oh
pestilence.
my.
Oh my god.
For quite a bit of time.
We'll see if they actually buy it.
Why have people been asking for this, AJ? What's the main reason?
The
for
main reason people ask for this is for early game solo lane countering. That's the most common.
That's so cheap.
Of course, it has a lot of applications.
That
in
is
other
fucking
lane
cheap.
modes when you end up in a
And it's 60 magical protection.
Player warrior support as well.
That's-
you know,
that's
that'll
cheaper
help
than
out
Oni's.
that lane.
Certain duo lanes.
Wait, how much
up,
Ensil does
but
it
we
give?
focus mostly on the solo lane.
I think it's
application to help
25%?
to help you counter those
Oh
high
my
sustained
god.
solo
That seems
lanes
pretty
with
strong.
guardians in solo lane. And
What's
what this will,
Pesti? Pesti's
we've actually
60
tuned
or
it a little
40?
bit differently than Pestilence.
Pesti
For
is,
so you can
25
push it a
and
little
it's
bit
80
earlier, we
protection.
have made this one slightly cheaper,
But
slightly
Pesti costs a
lower
lot
stats
more.
than Pestilence, but
250.
they have the same
Yeah?
stats. So by all
Think
accounts,
so?
they are the exact same.
Or maybe they
pattern.
put up the
Exact
2.4k, I don't remember.
You can buy one of each on 2 different gods and
Oh, they have the
to,
same
work
passive.
into a
Oh.
larger area.
Yeah.
Cannot increase, so we're not increasing the cap amount of healing reduction in the
Yeah,
game.
that's good.
So healers out there,
They're
we're
still
not
okay.
gonna, this is not actually lowering the amount of healing you can get total in the game, because it's the same as Pestilence. It's just giving more options and possibly a larger area.
The main thing to mention there then is the only real difference is that if you've got a Pestilence and a Contagion on the front line together on 2 different characters, you're only getting the effect of one and not both
Correct.
at the same time.
Correct.
And
That
the
makes
same
sense.
as you guys at home
Two
building
Pestilence.
this, there's no point building both of them on your character because you're only going to get the debuff from one.
Imagine if you could build both and get 50% on everybody
I
all the
was
time.
hoping you could. I'm sad, man.
Dude, that'd be OP.
Both of them, things like that.
Yeah, they've got-
But I didn't know they were making this item.
They've got
Yeah, I
very
had
different
no
stat
idea.
priorities. You know, Pestilence obviously has a lot of magical
Holy
protection
moly.
as well, so it's going to be good
I heard
for
people
different
talking
reasons.
about it.
Generally, don't build both on the same god.
Yes.
I knew people
Well, let's
wanted
move
it,
on then
but
to the item trees and what we're going to be seeing changing in the item trees
Damn,
in this
dude, that's
mid-season update.
cool.
First
Damn
thing to talk
sad.
about, it looks like we've got a lot of magical items first of all. Guys, what's been the main goal during the mid-season update?
but it's a magical items now as well.
Categories in the items instead of alphabetical,
Yeah.
and you're going to see that reflected on the patch notes.
I've got rings and...
Just to let you, just
Ah,
to make sure
nice.
that's intentional.
Right.
First, we're going to start with magical items, specifically mage ADCs.
Yes.
Yes.
Magical
Nerf that
ADCs
shit.
have been a bit more prevalent than they have been previously. A lot of the kind of competitive level players.
Yes.
Really
get him gone.
They've been pushing out other hunter characters, and we think a lot of that has to just do with the core efficiency of the ring tree itself, specifically demonic grip and hastened ring.
Okay.
So you're going to see adjustments towards those items.
And let's have a quick look at those then. Demonic grip, the cost is going to go up for this item. It was 2,150 gold. It's now going to be 2,000.
Oh, I thought they nerfed it more than only 150 gold.
Increase there. Just to try and slow
I guess it's kind of fair. It's the same as Executioner is. Like, Executioner is 50 more gold.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's a big nerf. But Hasten Ring is only really good on Freya, though.
Holy cow.
That's like a straight up nerf. Oh, they made more power on it.
Yes. So it's been.
Yeah, I feel they've made it more of a luxury item.
Haste itself
Yeah, that makes
is just
sense.
a very powerful effect. It breaks the core rules.
What's
of
up, Light?
Smite
It was
with
good,
regards to
man.
basic attacks. When you basic attack, you slow down, which makes you move slower.
Doesn't give movement speed, that's true.
And haste just breaks that, and we've seen that over the course of the
I
game.
wonder if this item is actually gonna make it more. It's gonna make it better.
And so to kind of make sure that players can still
I don't know. I don't see
this,
anyone paying
so prevalent and
2,700
easy to rush. We're moving
for the
the
ring.
cost up, but also making
I don't know if it. I guess they're just
more
nerfing the
So
in
if you
the
wanna
last
push it into it, you
like
can,
by.
but you can't,
So it's
for
gonna go
example,
from
Freya rush it and box
1100
rush it
to
super early on. You have to invest
1500.
a lot more gold towards it.
And the mages are still being looked at in terms of the hunter position.
Yeah, which is
kinda
Kind of rough early game.
Strong
Yeah.
variants, right? We want strong
I mean, Freya is pretty OP with Hasten Ring after, like Hasten Ring after boots. Then she can box everybody.
Right now,
Yeah. So this like kind of helps.
competitive meta,
Yeah.
as we've referenced to, are dominating. Olarun
But
also new mage ADC added to the
I
game.
reckon if they're
Then Kronos and Freya.
He won't. Yeah, he probably doesn't also use haste.
I reckon if mid-season is gonna be dual lane, starting a dual lane.
We're gonna keep an eye out on
I
mage
hope
ADCs going
so.
forward.
I'm
Like,
so
because-
sick of having someone in my lane.
Direct, clear changes
If
to
that
the
happens, then Freya is not gonna be
Moniker
as
really
good.
just needs to be balanced to other
as
early
well.
penetration items, and haste just needs to be tuned towards a luxury item. We have a couple other ideas and directions. We have some god balance that's going to adjust that, so we'll be keeping a close eye on this. And also, as we're going to get to later today, we're also going to be buffing a few hunter items.
Okay, well, let's
Hunter
go
item
over a
buff.
couple of magical items first of all. We've got a couple of
I bet they're trying to make physical hunters priority picks over magical ones.
Do more with
Switch it.
do more, but it's going to see a reduced magical power per stack from.
Do you think they're gonna increase Hasten and Katana price as well?
Base magical power increase from 135 to
Maybe.
145.
It is very low.
Potent item just in terms of magical power now. Then with what we've seen out of this,
Yeah, it's one
but
of the
stacks
highest
are going down.
for magical power. I think outside of like
Wait,
Rocket Hootie.
They
They're
reduced.
really trying to make people buy Doom Orb.
I don't think that's gonna change anything,
We
dude.
wanted to move a little bit.
Nah.
10 power and they reduced the passive.
Temporary with the movement speed. You only get them from time to time when you're killing camps or you're assisting.
Doom Orb has probably been one of the least bought items.
To the base,
Yeah, I mean,
I
it
would
was like
assume.
such a good item when it was old
We've done a
Heartseeker.
lot of shit
Yeah.
with Doom Orb, you know, with its price being changed from 3,200.
That was kind of snowbally, wasn't
There's
it?
a lot of people
I remember that the
Yeah.
old Doom Orb was
to
like
compare it to Shaman's Ring, and we want to bring it a little
super
bit more
potent.
line, but we also know
I
that
liked
the
that though.
movement
I was
speed
like, it was
provides is a really
risky.
strong
Like,
stat.
Yeah.
if you die, you
wanna
lose
just
half
do,
your
you know, a little
stacks. Like,
bit more
oh
to
no.
make sure it's not going to be overtime.
I agree.
Okay. And that's it for Doom Orb, but we move on then to Spear of Desolation.
They just gave it 10 more power and reduced the passive.
Change from 1 second to 2 seconds. I've got down here.
Oh, finally they do something about Spear Desolation, man. I feel like the 1 second was like never really that.
Easy to use.
Yeah, it,
Yeah,
just
it
was,
wasn't that noticeable.
It's
Yeah.
it's a pretty strong item in regards to like the pen the cooldown provides. but
Because if
other
you think about
people
Divine Wind and
outshining it,
Spear
the
Desolation,
cooldown
it's like,
outshine it,
I
and
mean,
so
I'll just get Divine Wind. It's like, it's almost the same item, except the cooldown reduction, right? But now that's like, this is pretty huge.
The only time I get Deso over Divine is Morgan.
Magus was almost causing
Yeah, that makes
some
sense.
problems earlier this year, where people were considering mage is not even viable unless they worked really well with Spear of Magus.
Right.
So we wanted to add just a little bit back to the non-Spear of Magus mages. This is going to help them.
Okay. We'll see how that works out with Spear of Desolation.
I wonder if there's an only nerf
This is
or
ethereal
buff.
Stuff here.
Oh.
Decreased the
What,
cost of
Onis?
the item. It was 2,600 gold.
No, no, no,
It's
the
500 gold. But we've also
mage
increased
items.
the max health stone.
Ah.
It was 5% to 6%.
Oh.
so it's a
Wait, they're
1%
buffing
down.
E-Staff.
What?
Just a small touch,
What?
John?
I'm still convinced this item is sleeper.
They're crazy.
Crazy good. But we'll see. It's a
No way that's gonna
of
go
course,
through.
the common theme
Reduced
for these
price.
season patches, we're targeting some of the
Put it
least
through.
purchased items in the entire game.
Sure. And I think sometimes when we talk about sleeper items, most of the times here, what happens is like it's just hard to fit them in build sometimes, and that's
Yes.
what you're trying to aim for here.
And a few of these that we're adjusting today, they're still going to be hard to fit and build, but some of the trade-offs are there. People
Right.
just have a hard time giving up the things they're used to.
Yeah, sure.
It's a very niche item as well, because you usually see it on kind of the tanky, bruiser mages as well. You know, the Zhang Kueis, the Jormungandrs. We saw it in Athena and Gev solo before playing the SPL. So it's already got a really unique place in the meta that we think just bringing a little bit more attention to it, but we don't want to drive it overboard because we don't want it to be like Warlock staff back in the beginning where everyone.
Isn't this item pretty OP now?
So just a little
yeah, I mean, I
25
it was good.
Mage items for the time being, but now we're on to what looks
6% as well.
More than anything else here. We've already had a little look at the hasten.
That's so wild.
That's I feel like reduce price or increase the health taken, not both at the same time.
Yeah,
they increase the price on katana. Yeah, that makes sense for the increase on.
Going forward for that, it's just the same pattern here. Pawn mobility is OP.
It's a very similar.
Are they gonna buff anything assassin-wise then?
Of situation with Hasten Ring. Hasten
I hope they change.
We've also seen the rise of those in-hand assassins. Arachne, I think.
Wait, which one?
Actually, how is Heartseeker right now? Does anyone buy it?
No, Heartseeker is completely useless on every guy.
People know is really potent, especially in like the ring scene. Kali is very potent, and so we just want to make sure that when people rush these kind of items, there's a bit of that trade-off between, oh, I could have maybe gone Atalanta's bow to get the more movement speed, or I could have started rushing my chins a bit earlier. If that gold is going to set to a Hazen Katana, it kind of just.
I mean, you just don't go katana assassins now, so they just limited the god pool, I guess.
All basic attack assassins are at the top of the performance charts right now.
Or like you have to be really far ahead.
Yeah.
Arachne is actually statistically the strongest god in the game still, if you don't believe it's true. So we're just.
Wait, why not just go Frostbane instead?
Should help balance out.
Yeah, I guess you can. I mean, on Arachne you don't even need katana.
No. It's more like Baka, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, without katana on Baka, you're fucking useless. Yes, they nerfed Talaria boots. I hate to go that item.
Just for Talaria boots, not for the others?
Yes.
This is all about trade-offs.
Okay.
We
finish them.
There's been a lot of rumblings about movement speed. Some of the rumblings of these builds are a little more meme than they are serious. Talaria's, though, is becoming the most popular choice for junglers. And it's because there's no trade-off. They're getting virtually the same amount of power, but way more movement speed. That's very strong. So we're bringing that power down to help differentiate them more from Warrior Tabi. Gotcha. However, we don't see this problem in the magical side at all. Travelers are still relatively unpopular. So we're going to leave
Travelers are shit on magical.
Okay.
But we might need to look into that item in a future case.
All right, that's good to know the difference between the two.
The parallels.
Talaria is still with a Merc.
They don't need to follow this exact same.
I mean, you lose 6 power right now, so you're gonna be losing 11 power, right? Something like that. I mean, sure, it's still worth it.
And wipes the whole playtest.
I already done a jungle Athena.
He does it all the time.
And what Pride win? And
he'll do it to you.
Oh yeah,
watch
out.
He'll get you.
Do you even go Hasten Katana on Vamana if you play Vamana solo?
Gonna get a bit of love this patch as well.
I used to, probably not anymore.
Ninja Tabi.
It's now gonna be 25%. That's a power and 5%.
Ooh.
Now this is shifting into our whole set of.
Oh baby.
So this is a important.
I feel like that was needed as well, right? Because nobody will really go it in the jungle. Maybe a few of the carries would go Ninja Tabi.
Yeah, the only people who are Ninja Tabi is Bologna solo and some ADCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a hunter. I mean, with mage ADCs taking over, just a few hunters getting moved into mid.
That's pretty nice.
A lot of the ways the conquest meta has
Wait, how much does Atalanta's bow cost?
22.
Live games, the amount of people selecting the role is dropping. So
maybe you get that instead. No, it doesn't give power.
You're gonna see a few buffs.
Wait, Atalanta's?
Yeah, wait, it does, doesn't it?
I think it's 30 power.
Yeah, maybe you got that instead of Katana.
Staple hunter items, core hunter items, and that is intentional. That is to buff the class as a whole. It might look a little strange because it's not something we normally do, but we have the metrics and the feedback that support this pretty strongly right now. And we think it's going to have a really strong benefit to the whole class. It's going to bring more hunters into the viability section. It's going to give people more flexibility, and it's going to make people feel better about playing that role.
Well, we mentioned Ninja Tabi there. I want to move on to Chins as well.
I wonder who is actually good with Ninja Tabi right now. Like jungle-wise.
Is going to have the attack speed increase of this
oh, Quinn's buff as well.
20% as well. So both Ninja Tabi.
I don't know who can get value out of it.
What's the reason for the attack speed increases?
This goes in line with AJ's messaging, where Chins is a pretty popular and core component.
Holy shit! It's sad that nerf has a katana because Bakasura with Quinn's attack speed boots, and then has a katana. A little bit OP.
they aren't feeling that impact, it means just as a.
I know, I might try Avalanche, but
I'm pretty sure you can go attack speed boots on Erlang now, and then just fucking go Quincy into into stone cutting. Like crush your stone cutting Quincy with attack speed boots. Dude, you will do so much DPS on.
Kins cost a lot though, right?
27, but you can go it early game easy.
But making sure the core
Also, this is buffing Arachne, right? Because Arachne goes Quincy every game.
True, true.
Yeah. For Ninja Tabby, what it's gonna
I swear though, if this is a hunter meta, I'm building that new mage item and playing Kazembo and just having my 2 active. I don't want to deal with it.
Oh, you can do double 2.
Double thorns.
Oh.
That's the most popular item in the game, by the way. So people will stay just building that power for sure. But there's more options here, and when you get that natural attack speed a little easier through your core items, it gives you a little more flexibility in your builds to branch out.
That's big for CERN, isn't it? I mean, it's big for every AD carry. Literally, big for every AD carry.
Look at him. So also, like it is always going on. Wind Demon is the next one on the list here, and that's going to see a cost decrease. It was 2,600 gold. It's now going to be 20.
This might be worth the rush now.
So 100 gold off that item, just to make it more attractive. That is it, guys.
A little easier to fit in builds, just to take the overall crit cost and lower it down a little bit, as well.
I don't like. I remember last time they buffed AD carries, they became so fucking strong for a bit.
Yeah, I remember Poison Star.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Poison Star again.
Ah, that's a disgusting item.
And the next
It's so
item on this
good.
list as well is going to be Iqval. It's going to have a bit of a change in terms of cost again.
Oh, they're reducing the cost again.
2,600 gold, that's going to go down to 2,450.
Dude, I swear to God, right now they're buffing junglers as well. This is not only fucking
Iqval did go through a couple
AD
of
carry.
changes too, right?
It's scaring
We're
me.
just trying to work out the point of cost for that.
Where are my buffs? Buff my characters. Give me an Arthur buff.
You just got buffed for Equal. Bellona Equal, bro. OP.
I'll give you a full attack speed.
There was some initial reactions that people thought it was too strong, so we nerfed it really quickly, or even during PTS.
Almost
preemptively.
yeah, exactly.
During PTS, and then nobody bought it. So.
You can get Ichabod and Erlang now?
You can. It's pretty really good value now.
Yeah, you proc it twice with one auto, right?
Yeah. Now it's good value, but before it was not like. I would rather have when I decide to go equal, like the 4th item anyways, I would rather have Quincy at that point because it's the same price almost, and Quinn will just be more DPS.
Yeah.
But now it looks like equal is like pretty good to like rush into to certain guards.
So it's kind of another counts point
That's
there.
just
They're
crazy.
and Ichabod's always been a good choice to counter those ones. So a little bit of cost decrease will help that too.
Well, next up on the list is going to be Jade Emperor's Crown, and that's
Tank item time.
Time onto tank items.
Oh,
I wasn't sure where this goes because it just like read them through them. So Jade Emperor's Crown is next on the list. Reduced cost from 2,150 gold to 2,150
Broken.
gold.
Oh, dude, you got your buff. You got your buff.
Holy cow, that is busted.
There's a couple of these items coming up for sure that they are really good.
It's gone through some metas where it's historically really popular or not. Really, we have a lot of different.
I mean, Honda made a back, right? Double Honda, too many physicals. Maybe it's pretty good to buy this item, like get fucking Fafnir with it, right?
Yeah.
Where you really feel like they all could be viable just kind of based on your personal preference or what your team comp needs or who on the enemy team is carrying the most. So this is that type of item. We're going to look at a couple of those here as we go through this section to make sure that this trade-off feels good and feels like Guardians have meaningful choices and aren't just pushed into the same aura Heartward soft build every game.
Well, here's a little look at some of those as well. Runic Shield is the next one up. That's going to have a 50 health increase of that from 150 to 200.
Dude, you're gonna be busted now.
And then after that, we've also got Gauntlet of Thieves.
I'm insane.
Too. Decreased cost.
Holy 200?
Wait, are they buffing Thieves?
And increase the base health
No way.
of this from 275 to 300. Very small touches there.
You're trolling.
Definitely the support.
What the fuck?
Bulwark of Hope is also going to see a cost reduction.
You're trolling.
2,400
They're
to
buffing
2,300.
Thieves.
100 gold reduction there. And
Everybody buy that first item.
200 to 250, so 50 health up on that too. Talisman of Energy, the next one on this list, is passive duration increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. I guess that's just to make it a little bit more.
Oh, this one needs a
A little
buff.
more flexible when you're actually using that passive.
Consistency.
And last but not least, in the
That was not the buff it
it's going to be
needed.
the Relic Dagger. It's going to see an increased Relic cooldown reduction. Ooh, really?
Yeah,
From
this is a
30
spicy
seconds to 40 seconds, so an extra 10-second reduction. Surprised by that, because I thought we saw quite a bit of Relic Dagger so far this year.
We're starting to see a little bit of it in SP.
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
Right.
No,
Nowhere else.
I definitely get that context.
No one else is buying it. The community always lags a month or so behind the SPL. If they keep doing it in SPL, people will start eventually picking it up. But eventually, it's like I said before, it's about the meaningful.
Relic Dagger, that was a good buff. Thebes, that was not necessary.
Thebes was
stupid.
To make the most out of this item.
And then the Talisman of Energy, that wasn't the buff it needed, I don't think.
Across that patch then, I mean, just for the item section, we've seen, what, 4 new items, is it? Or 5?
5 new items,
Five
the
new
Thorn
items,
one tree.
You got 5 new items.
What did it do to Relic Dagger? I didn't see it.
Instead of the cooldown reduction being 30 seconds, it's now 40 seconds.
Unpopular item.
On your axis.
So mainly just a catch up.
Oh.
But now we move on to
what is the lowest cooldown active right now? 120?
I think it's 120, yeah.
I should say.
Oh, blink, blink, blink.
Section. Guys, what was the main focal point of the gods in the mid-season patch for you guys?
Mid-season, we're always looking for meta shifts, and we're looking to solve problems. I believe.
I don't know about the Godless Fish buff though.
Is where we're going to get most of our meta shifts from.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
God balance is impactful, but God balance still impacts one.
Where's my Mail of Renewal buff?
Items impact everyone. They have very far-reaching. So for gods, we're looking to solve problems. So you're going to see some meta nerfs here. You're going to see some top ban, top pick nerfs. You're going to see a few gods that are extremely unpopular and have had some.
I can't wait to see shit about crit be like completely meta.
Little like they're missing the love, as Hinduman mentioned.
Didn't Blink 3 back in the day have 45 cooldown? I don't remember the exact cooldown, but it was still low.
Yeah, it was real low.
Problems being solved.
Okay.
Always striving towards the goal of making as many gods in the
I thought they would nerf Thebes, if anything.
Now, I do
Because they say they want to change the build right.
For gods, we are not in categories. We're going the
and they made that's picked up every
game.
He's probably not getting changed this patch.
Definitely pay attention because there's some spicy stuff in between.
What they should do, and I felt this would make Mail of Renewal broken, but make it pop off of buffs.
Bees, we're going to be decreasing
You think so?
damage of bees.
Maybe. It's just an idea.
There'll be so much sustain. I actually not really right.
Per tick,
which is pretty big.
I just got excited by 9 to 5 and it got.
So if you go for an invade, you get that buff. That's kind of insane.
And then Swarm as well, decreased base damage from 60 to 280 will now be 60 to 260, so a top end small change there. We've also decreased.
It's better not to see AMC nerfs.
80% to 70%.
That will make sense.
Small touches to AMC.
I do remember every time they nerfed AMC, they kind of made him out of meta, right?
A lot of AMCs. AMC has been.
And the items they just buff for the carry is not really any items for AMC anyway, so I feel like they just made AMC just not really be that potent.
Even though
I don't think he'll get picked up at all.
That's like pretty useless there.
At almost all points of the game. So here we're hitting his early game with bees, and we're hitting his late game with a swarm change.
Okay. We'll see how that works out for AMC. Next on this list is Anhur. Some interesting changes for Anhur.
They're buffing Anhur.
Sands. We're going to increase the damage buff from 4 to 20%. Will now be 8 to 20%. So definitely an early game buffer shifting Sands. Not only that though.
That's naughty.
That's very fucking good.
That's insane.
It's now going to be 0.17. So a 0.03 difference. Yes, I can do math sometimes. Which will match his animation, is what it says here. Is that just makes it feel a little bit better?
When he threw, he like throw, and then a spirit appeared.
I like they're doing stuff to fix animations as well.
Yeah, it's real nice. I don't like when it looks so off.
You'll definitely feel it if you're not her main.
I still want them to change a Wheelix free because that's still weird.
Yeah, but what kind of thing do you want changed on it?
Like the Wheelix's free comes out from behind her, which is why you hit people if you're not looking. Like even if they're looking at you.
Yeah, and then knock up.
It will help out a little bit.
And they still knock him up, yeah.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I want them to put that in front instead.
So it's, change where it was 20% damage increase to your link target. It's one of those things where
they're buffing hunters and also buffing the guards is like, yeah, I do agree. H-Bound is kind of. The nerf mage AD carries, the buff hunters, and they also buff hunter items at the same time.
Earlier, so you know that that's a thing that you need to continue.
Yeah, they are kind of overdoing it, aren't they?
As the game progresses.
Gotcha. It still gets to the same point late game as well, though, in terms of the same 20%.
I'm not sure.
5 units of range to that ability.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't miss that.
right?
I apologize.
But that is
5 extra range. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty impactful change as well. That'll let you zone out people a little further to help you catch people.
That's more important.
It works really well with impale combos because it gives you a little bit more space to work with.
Yeah.
So on her getting a combination of actual buffs.
AMC difficult nerf too much as well.
Right, good changes for Anhur.
Is below for the season? No. We have MSI going on right now, which is a tournament.
First up is Audacity. Each damaging ability now adds 2 stacks of Audacity for each.
Wait, what is Audacity? That's passive, yeah?
Yeah,
wait, use ability and you get the passive now.
Which is really good.
What the fuck, dude? And items just got completely buffed by Apollo as well.
Or your 1 or your ultimate.
Yeah. Apollo kind of insane, huh?
You're gonna be getting your Audacity passive almost instantly. When we talked about Apollo a little bit, exactly. We're gonna see it here. And one of the biggest things we talked about for Apollo is that his passive, while it's fun, it's hard to always play around it, right? You get it, and then you
cool.
use it. If you're an experienced player, you'll dash through the minion wave to try and get a little bit faster. But by adding Audacity,
he just got full stacks from that dude.
Which I think is important.
Yeah. No way. Oh my god, he does. He does as well.
Dude, his mid game is gonna be insane.
This feels like
Apollo's kind of good then.
Casual player, the player that's trying to get to grips with Apollo is going to be a little bit more effective to play him.
I don't know how good his laning phase is. I don't play ADC that
You're going to
much.
feel a potent buff here. I'd be able to play around this.
It helps abilities feel a bit more impactful. Often, especially late game hunters, where your auto attacks feels like the most important thing that you're going to be doing. Casting an ability often takes time.
Yeah, I guess Apollo's late game was not the best either. Now it's like pretty solid.
I mean, it's good because you can just land on someone, you have full passive.
Yeah.
As quick as you can.
Now the other thing about Apollo as well is we're going to be
dude, Apollo crit
moves his third ability. They increase the duration of the buff and debuff
you're right.
This effect. It was 2 seconds.
Wait, Mez has DR in it, right?
Here, and that's just being
it should have.
Quality of life thing.
I was gonna say you could double Mez somebody.
Buff and debuff for 3 seconds.
This helps his kit flow so much better. These gameplay demos of him alting down and just going from 0 to full stacks of his passive, that is awesome.
Very, very useful.
This is going to make the god feel way more consistent, give you a lot more control, and if you're hitting your abilities and paying attention to that passive, you're going to be doing a lot more damage with Apollo.
Apollo players unite. Thanks for that one, Cap.
That is actually insane. Do you think they're going to go live with that?
I think so, yeah. It's a really good change, but it's
just too strong, right?
Yeah.
Non-boss minions only at all ranks. Sorry.
Only.
It was the way that it's on ranks.
We should have written that.
It still deals 1, 1, 2, 2.
I love to that Apollo though.
Gods as you rank this up, but it's 5% max health to anything.
Apollo mid Starva dash kill other laner. Mission successful.
Yes.
This is just not fire giants and large bosses, right?
That's what I was thinking.
5% would be a little bit much.
So this ability does base damage and percent health.
Oh, Apollo's not Apollo. Ares solo busted.
To minions only.
Okay.
Wait, you can clear wave actually now.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Clearing lane Ares.
Correct.
Lane and just, going
Ares solo is back, dude. Did he go with Skadi changes yet? No, we still miss Skadi changes. There's 4 changes and
Erlang.
Oh, Erlang as well.
Yeah, he's getting nerfed from what I've heard.
But we still have not
he's getting dumpstered.
Very little actually. So
like a lot.
We're pushing that.
I think so, yeah.
A little further. It's a very exciting change.
Maybe they're removing his dog.
Then we'll move straight onto Chuck. Yes.
Oh no, there's no way, man.
Torrent decreased.
This isn't John Wick.
15 seconds to 13 seconds.
They're taking his dog.
No.
Dude, he should get a John Wick skin then.
Now knocks enemies players straight up instead of away. That's a big change.
Big change.
Because before it was kind of used as a escape situation.
It's technically a knockup, but a knockup that
it's a really nice change.
Now it's gonna be a knock straight up, so you're always gonna.
Yeah, because it's so annoying, right, when you knock them away from you. When you want to kill them.
Like, I'm chasing them down. I'm ulting. Oh no, I've just pushed him closer to that tower.
And we're trying to add ways to make him a desirable pick. And one problem is that his ultimate is strong, but it always tends to knock people away. It actually tends to save enemies. They're all just fleeing in different directions. He doesn't get to.
I mean, Chuck never needed that, right? Because Chuck is fucking kind of useless.
Yeah, Chuck's kind of dead.
That's gonna set up his team way better.
I hope they buff Wukong as well.
They're still silent.
No, fuck that shit. No Wukong meta.
Give me Wukong back. I love that character.
Like he's a pretty strong.
Actually, it's so annoying to play against. It's too safe, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So this is gonna really help his late game team fight and help make Chuck.
I miss when Wolfie would build in like full damage in jungle. That was my favorite thing for Wolf. Just Wukong popping off.
Yourself some extra damage protections and escapability. Erlang Shen is the next one.
No.
Weakness. It looks like a bit of a nerf for the boy Erlang, and I think you needed it, to be honest. Decreased.
Here we go.
That's fair. That's fair.
Will now be 15 to 75.
That's fair.
How come so heavy?
Put this in the meta nerf category.
Dead.
Erlang Shen.
Effing chat.
That's fair. That's fair.
Across the board right now. This god is doing really well. And one of his issues is that he's a little too good at everything.
Yeah. His ability to tank, his ability to deal damage is just really high. He doesn't have to sacrifice much to deal that damage, and part of that is due to spot weaknesses based damage.
Gotcha.
Especially at early ranks in the jungle.
I'm just sad I can't play him in solo anymore.
Really aggressively.
Hopefully they don't kill him. Like, imagine if they nerf every spell or something.
It's really hard for anyone to push Erlingshan off.
Yeah, that'd be a little upsetting.
Spot weakness is OP in support, like mid-game, when you have like 3 or 4 levels in it.
Damage, or do I really want to commit to that damage build?
Okay, well that's it for Erlang. Then to Fafnir.
But that's the only thing.
It looks like a
No way.
love for the boy Fafnir here, I think.
What? Oh, he's fine then.
I thought you said he was gonna be fucking schmacked.
That's what I got told.
I thought they were reworking him.
By the way, increased the width of this ability from 6 units
know.
to 7, so it should be a little bit easier to hit this.
Wait,
And,
isn't that his
clear
2?
clips with 2. And
Or
Coerce
wait.
decreased attack speed buff. It was 15 to 35, will now be 10% to 30%. And decrease bonus damage from 5 to 25% will now be 4 to 20%. So it is a shift, and it's like he loses a bit of his attack speed and power buff that he's getting from Coerce, but gets to hit his hammer a little bit more often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This god is popular in SPL and nowhere else. And it's because the SPL players are good at using that Coerce. We're trying to help even him out a little bit more, trying to give him more widespread application to more players. So we want to make Curse Strength just a little bit more consistent.
Wait, Coerce, is that his 2 or what?
It'll
Yeah,
it will help.
I mean, that is not gonna change. Oh, I guess even from 25. Okay.
Of course, so they're now going to be the exact.
It's still pretty darn good.
It'll help
Yeah.
lock down enemies so his teammates can secure those kills.
Buff
But
4?
Coerce is
I think they're
just
buffing
an
4.
extremely potent team effect.
Yes.
So we
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what they're doing with 4.
because even though he's really struggling in casuals, we've never been able to buff because SPL
Wonder if the
players are so
wall's
good
gonna do
with him. He's a
damage
very
again.
high skill cap character.
Understand, yeah.
So
No,
we're just trying
I don't think they're
to
doing
bring
that.
down that SPL focus just a little bit.
I think they might make the walls bigger.
Damage because we just did the change to honor.
Like more thick.
Yeah.
This one is also
Because
the
right now,
Yeah.
it's like
this one's a bit
kind of
different
blocked.
just because that he gets attack speed buffs. So
Yeah,
you already
maybe,
feel
maybe.
the ability effect, and it's also team
I don't
wide
know
in the
what they're doing.
dragon form.
You're
and
just-
that
right,
team
you're
wide
hitting
effect.
You're
multiple
just getting
people.
ahead of the flare boots in the world.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Yes.
I know what Pompon's doing. Always
So
thinking.
it's a bit different of a situation. Context matters.
Freya next on the list, and Freya's definitely been talked about God for the last billion years since release.
Freya.
So we'll see what we're doing to her this week, and this week is going to be Aurora Blade.
What?
Increasing
Why would they put
basic
1?
damage from 16 to 60 is now going to be 1 to 4.
Wait, 1?
What? I've never seen that.
To 15%.
1 damage. I'll see what they say in the chat.
Early game, that base power makes her incredibly efficient, especially when she gets a single attack speed online.
Yep.
Hasten Ring was that often used case, and it just made it her very difficult to box. Even though she does clear the wave really aggressively, when you did try and actually box her, she also won the box trade. This will make her much more fair to fight against, and then that extra scaling makes.
But
her
our blade
more
doesn't do
towards
anything on
late game.
minions,
I
right?
believe
That's
late
only on
game
guards.
you have about 600 power. You
Like,
hit about
anyways.
15 to 20 harder. So that's kind of like
That's
the
the
level of
2,
change
isn't
that
it?
you're going to see between Aurora Blades early game.
Oh wait, what is this one?
Weaker, early,
Aurora Blade's the 2, I think. I think they're making it so
Yes.
Nerf.
when she goes to clear the lane, level
Big,
1,
slow
she does
down
less
early.
damage to
That's
gods,
what
because
Yeah.
you know,
problem
people would
here.
stand
We
in
know
front
we've
of
been
it,
messing with
but
Freya
they'd
Yeah.
still like
time.
die.
Yeah,
Feeling really
that makes
good
So they've
sense.
about
kind of
how she's
nerfed
gonna
that,
feel after this
and made it
change.
so you
This coupled
can
with demonic
kind of
Ring
fight
and
level
Physical
1
changes
into
for
the
sure.
frame.
Yeah, should definitely bring her in line a little bit more. Maybe
Which
not
I
as
think's a good
frustrating
change,
you all
though.
Yeah,
early.
for sure.
Next got on the list is Isis. Now, Isis has got a lot of changes.
I mean, that 1 damage is still OP,
What's
isn't it?
Isis in this patch first?
It's still pretty good, yeah.
Widespread adjustments across her kit. This is one of those heavy balance adjustments
Ooh.
where we're not necessarily reworking any abilities, but a lot of them being touched.
Okay.
We're trying to give Isis, we're trying to target her individual abilities that feel underwhelming and give them clear identities and strengths, as well as just buff the goddess in ways that she
What
needs.
is Funeral
Let's see
Rites?
what we've done then. Funeral
It's a
Rites, first
passive.
of all. The passive increased range of this. It was
OP
30
now,
units,
dude.
It's going to be 40 units.
Well,
so look
yeah,
out for that.
I can
Spirit
see
Ball. You can
my
now
teammates' deaths,
refire
though.
Spirit Ball. This ability at any point after firing it. This includes while under the effect of crowd control and also while
Yes,
dead.
finally.
I really like that, guys. It seems a little bit OP in one sense, but at the same time, I can understand it because it's very frustrating. That you
Holy,
couldn't
that's
necessarily
quick.
cancel
Isn't it
the
going fast now or what?
the damage.
It also
That's
was a
so
little bit
good.
because her ultimate had these rules already
Yeah.
in place, so while
That's
you
really
were
nice,
dead or
because
crowd
if they were
control,
like
could
right
already
next
cast
to you,
circle
you
of
couldn't
protections.
pop it.
Spirit Ball was kind of the one that you always wanted to be able to do the same thing. If you get stunned by an assassin jumping on you and you've just fired your Spirit Ball, you really want to be able to pop that again. Also, coupled with this change, we remove the post fire from 0.1 to 0. This doesn't change anything with the animations, but will help a lot when you're trying to pop that spirit ball and refire it immediately and quickly.
Yeah, they're always the ones that sometimes, like, if pings slightly off or something like that, it can always cause you a problem.
This is gonna make that feel better.
Cool, that's great. Spirit ball is still more for.
Can you do 2 and then 1?
Magic. Dispel magic no longer
and then pop it while you're wanting.
Yeah,
maybe.
Protection. It instead provides a shield
if you
to
can do it while
ISIS
CC'd,
and
maybe.
nearby allies.
What?
The shield health will be 90 to 250 plus 40% increased potency per additional target hit, and this caps at 80% potency. 3 gods hit.
Dude, Ice is
basically
solo.
A shield for you and your teammates around you once you use dispel magic
or the target
protections.
So it's around you or the
Give
target.
me Isis every game.
Zombies rules with the heal. So that way, if people are all diving on one person and you're far away, you're trying to keep that range, you can dispel magic that target. They all get the shield around you, or if you just have teammates next to you, they'll also get that shield.
So Baron rules basically.
Yes.
What do you that shield alone?
That's it for dispel
Is
magic.
that level 1?
We move on to circle of
Oh, she's 20.
No, that
She's
has to be
20.
level
increase the
5.
base healing of Circle of Protection from 80 to 160.
That's super cool, though. I like that.
110 to 190, and also increase the mitigations obtained from 15 to 20% is now going to be 25% at all. 25%
Holy
Telling us this ability
You're
felt
trolling!
useless. It
No
was,
way.
Dude, I can't wait to play
close-range skill shot that
ISIS.
you immediately
Wait, I like
activated
that.
just
Did you
to
see
finish
that?
it
The
off,
little
or
eye
something
that
that
comes
everyone
up
just
to
got
fill
out
your
of.
ult?
So what
No,
we
I
want
didn't
to
see
do is
that.
actually give it more applications to drop this in a
Oh, that's
scenario
cool.
or a
I'm glad they
jungle
added
boss
that.
scenario, and that mitigations is going to be very intense. It's going to help her a lot. It's going to give her a key, distinct role of pick ISIS when we want to really secure these objectives.
They added a bar to
really
fill
excited
up on the ult.
ISIS players out now. Because
Holy
So you know if
changes
it's
their
fully
overall
charged or not.
Passive range increase, Spirit Ball usability a lot better.
They
and a
triple
lot
buff
easier
there.
to potentially
Oh my
fire
fucking
and
god.
connect
They're really
Dispel
trying to make
Magic.
ISIS
I think I'll just
play
change
it
Dispel
up.
Magic though, because like I feel like it's a nerf to it, but then we've buffed the ult at the same time. But it's better
It's a
to
shift.
read,
Well,
right?
we took away protections and added shield, so it is a shift technically,
okay.
not a straight buff.
Yeah, in situations where like assassins gank you, it's going to always be a buff because it was only magical protections you're getting. But against other mages, especially also if you're boosting like your teammates that had a lot of magical protection already, that 30% boosted it even more. So that definitely is a shift. But in a lot of applications, it will help ISIS.
Yeah, and the rule for Dispel Magic, she would
Holy
give
fuck.
the shield of the aura to the people in her funeral rites, but now
Yeah.
because that A
ISIS.
was larger, you're going to be giving it to people a little bit further away than before.
Interesting. That's good to see. All right, I think we'll see.
25% mitigation,
Someone I'm
dude.
sick of seeing.
And that's for the whole
really
team.
On the list.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happening in
Like,
Merlin
just grab a
this week.
spirit
Who's jumping
robe.
onto play? Eclipse.
Grab an
Decrease
Oni.
magical power scaling of the initial hit from 60% to 55%. Decrease the magical power scaling of the tick damage from 10% to 8%. Blizzard. Increase the time to deploy of this ability from 0.5 to 0.7, and Elemental Mastery. Increase the cooldown of this ability. This is the ultimate switch stance, by the way, Elemental Mastery. Increase the cooldown of this. It was 28, scaling down to 20. It's now going to be 32, scaling down to 20 at the same
Holy
end.
cow.
Blizzard is the one that I'm interested in there, Clumsy.
Yeah, so each one has its targeted changes. Eclipse was one of the abilities that outside of the fire stance, which we nerfed last time, was doing a lot of damage. The AoE is pretty wide, so nerfing the damage on both the initial hit and the tick damage means that it doesn't feel as
That's
unfair
fair.
when you're getting hit by
That's
it.
fair.
Blizzard's
Yeah.
one where it's always been a frustration point. A lot of people say, oh, the slow and the damage is a little bit too high, but when you look at it in a vacuum, it's, we've nerfed Frostbolt a lot of times. That's actually what was contributing to the damage.
Sure.
But the time to deploy of Blizzard was actually the fastest deploy time of any of those in the game. So it's faster than even Anubis. Now,
Really?
we've actually gone ahead and changed that and increased it by 0.2 seconds, which is
Yeah.
going to be matching Anubis' Grasping Hands. It's no longer the fastest deployable in the game, and that should make it feel a lot less frustrating. We're also a little bit worried that, that Merlin mains or people who played him a lot might feel this change really viscerally.
Yeah.
They might really, see that it's not hitting those people that they want to be hitting as often, but I think that, it's definitely an important change that'll feel less frustrating and one that people get used to.
This is an impactful change. I know a lot of these small numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
might say
it's
this
very
is
weird
tiny
when
or
it
whatever.
starts
0.2 seconds on a warm up.
changing
that's enough time
the
to dodge. That you're going to need to aim
the time it takes to hit.
We've
That always
seen
feels so
stats
weird.
with Feedback on Merlin. He needs.
What do you mean when he
intense
ults?
changes.
No, the
to
Merlin
deliver
2.
them right.
No, Blizzard. Merlin Blizzard.
Oh,
Also,
yeah,
last thing
it
on-
hits you
on
before the
elemental
thing
magic
is
is actually a
oh.
pretty big one because
Yeah, but
It's
now they
so
nerfed
weird.
it
switch
as
stance.
well.
I think mostly this will affect Conquest.
Yeah, I'm hoping it
especially at
matches
high
the
level,
animation
where
now.
people were using
Yeah, it
the
should.
different stances. It's clear backcamps and mid wave, then go back and switch constantly for using new abilities. By having less time to do that, that means you're going to be less reactive to every time someone tries to gank you or every time another wave comes up and you're stuck now in fire stance when you actually didn't want to be. but it's going to be scaling down to the same amount because we didn't want that to, you know, be a consistent feeling of frustration for the Merlin player himself. So maybe now cooldown will be a little bit more important for Merlin,
just
or
more
really
early
just
game
like
decision
getting
making,
that.
right?
Exactly.
That's what you're kind of aiming for here.
And make him a harder character to play.
That's fair. I mean, he's pretty tricky anyway with so many different stances.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Merlin out of the way. Nemesis next on the list. And Nemesis is about Retribution here. Increase the damage reflect of Retribution from 30 to 50%
She's getting buffed.
of damage received. Is now
Yeah, because she got a new skin.
At all ranks. So 50% of all the damage you take is going to get reflected back.
I mean, I guess it's not that big, but
it was weird double scaling percentages in a.
Does that mean she gets a bigger heal?
So we're just making that.
No,
that
just
still going to scale heavily throughout the game.
I don't think that's
percentage-based ability, and because the rank of the shield increases things.
That's not anything.
But that's
The heal's
all because
based
we're
off
also going to be increasing
the damage you
healing
take.
of this
But now they're
Retribution
increasing.
shield as well. It did scale up to 100%, but now it's going to be 100% at all ranks.
Oh, okay.
So 50% of all the damage I take while my Retribution shield is up, I'm going to heal for that much amount.
I mean, Nemesis is not even bad right now. It's just like there's just
which
like
already scales
it's
up.
weird with the combos right
There's
now,
no reason to do this weird.
and with
really
which
weird.
cards are played in solo and all
It's just
that.
gonna be a lot more
Yeah,
consistent. through
But
the-
surely the guard was not like
Next
bad.
up then is
it was her early game, right?
And it's the
I mean,
universal
she is
ring
pretty good
toss.
clear,
The
honestly.
universe ring toss?
But I guess she has bad boxing when it comes to level 2 to 5.
Called the
Yeah,
universe
she
rings
cannot
out
fight
of
in
this
all.
game.
Right.
But I don't know why.
I just thought
That's what they're called.
Universe ring toss then increased damage reduction of subsequent hits on the same target from 25%.
That's finally
to
fuck
35%.
yes.
We've also decreased the slow from 25% to 12.5%. This effect can now stack up to 2
That's fucking good.
times. So if you get hit by 2 ring bounties now, that's what that's telling me, that then you're going to still get the same slow.
That's
Correct.
better.
Yeah.
So you're
I
going to
mean-
get less slowed if you get hit by only one ring bounce. You're going to take less damage if you get hit by multiple ring bounces. This god is really good at all-inning and killing someone. That's what his role as an assassin is. He's still getting played in these weird flex spots as a support, which is kind of fun. We like flex, but it's frustrating and overbearing with this slow and
As an
heavily
assassin.
healing and damaging
Yeah,
an
she is
assassin.
fucking OP.
So tuning this more towards
How many
the
nerfs has she
assassin style
gotten now? Like I swear to God, she's been nerfed so much the last half year.
But you do less
Yeah,
damage,
I
but if
mean,
you hit once, you're going to get a smaller
You got
slow
changed a
level.
lot as well. You got a little buff
That's it
last
for
time.
Najjar. The
Oh,
next
I
on
remember
the
they
list is
buffed
someone
her from
we're gonna talk a
having
little bit
crit
more
into
about.
physical power.
And, the
Oh.
guys in the same
About
league.
time.
She was
We
OP.
named
Just-
themselves
Yeah.
Nike. Nike.
Oh,
This
wow.
god, since creation, has been one of the most OP gods in the game.
Yes.
And no one talks about it,
Marcus,
AJ.
where
And
are
no
you?
one plays her.
They're changing her
It's
too.
crazy. It is interesting.
And I'm so happy.
Smite players, when something's OP, they will play it.
Yes, they will.
They don't care what it takes.
What
will
have they
play it
nerfed
if
to
they learn
passive?
it's OP. Nike is not that case. Nike has been putting up the best win rates in the game forever.
Since
but
she's
people
come
do
out,
not
yeah.
play it. We know. We've always had an idea. We've been looking for ways to adjust her without more heavily, but it's because of the passive. Her passive numbers give her team an insane amount of damage. It might not look like much, and these numbers you're about to see that we're nerfing are going to look like nothing.
Right.
But when you add those small amounts of percents, you multiply that by every player, by every hit, by every second the game goes longer. Her passive contributes a ton to a fight, and the problem is you don't feel that as a Nike player. So what we're trying to do is nerf that passive very heavily, and then buff the rest of her kit, as well as reworking
Let's see what they're doing.
to make her kit feel impactful.
I'm excited.
Let's
That
go for
passive
the
is pretty
real
weak
quick,
now,
so it's
isn't it?
already on your
1 to
screen.
3%.
Bonus power
It's
decreased
still
from
kind
4
of
to
okay.
8%.
It's
Is now going to be 1 to 3% as you get those extra statuses. Also,
As long as they
bonus
haven't touched the movement
has been
speed.
decreased. It was 2 to 6%. It's now going to be
What did it
1
say, sir?
to 2%. So the passive really nerfed.
I'm
her.
upset.
It's
I
still
know
gonna
it's
What did it
be
say, sir?
strange for us to be nerfing
Nah.
the least popular
They're
god in
trolling.
the game.
Can you
But
explain
Unless the
why
2
they
is
did it?
insane,
Can you
they're
tell the
trolling.
truth?
everything else
I
is
want
gonna
you to
be-
tell them the truth.
Everything else is going to be really strongly buffed. That's the truth.
Tell them about the 6%.
Everything else
Tell
is
them about it.
Through some interesting mathematical calculations, we have
That's-
decided
that's gonna feel like
Nike's
almost
win
nothing.
rate is about 7%.
It is like
contributes to
a
passive, which is
global
like-
disco.
That's like a
Can I
50
say
it? It is.
No, you can't. It's like
Okay.
a 50 god jump. It's like a 50 god jump.
Just
Let's
look at
see
the
that.
numbers again. 8% power percent
Yeah.
for 5 members of your team is actually just
It's
ridiculous.
insane.
She gets she gives her teammates more than a patch note show buff every time they are in the game with her.
Yeah, it's
It's a
insane.
way to view-
It's
view
absolutely
this
insane.
passive.
So we're nerfing the passive real hard, but we're buffing the rest of the kit.
And here's
She
the
needs
look
to,
at
'cause
the
she
other
does
stuff that we're gonna
nothing.
buff. First up is going to be Rend. This ability now always fires
Here we
all
go.
3
Right.
hits.
Oh.
You don't have to Proc your plan of action. First of all, you just get it as standard. Does it still disarm?
Do you disarm then?
It still disarms on the third hit.
Oh.
No one plays Nike and is like, dude, I need to get the disarm off. Holy cow. Like, no one's going into the game like...
So basically,
that's all Red needs.
That's all Red needs.
That's a really strong ability.
Even
now I can fucking disarm.
Chance to disarm. But we'll
Hell
move
yeah.
on to plan of action. And
Can't wait to
this is
trade
a
an
full
Erlang by
ability
disarming
rework,
him
so let me
after
go
3
through this.
seconds of
The
casting.
ability name is
Oh, what the fuck?
Barrier formation.
Barrier
Oh, you're
formation.
renaming the ability?
Yes.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
New name, new icon.
It is new aim, new ability, new icon, new name. It is called Barrier
What the heck is that?
formation.
Oh, I don't have that down.
This
So,
description is old. Don't read it entirely.
okay, why don't you describe it then?
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Me and Pod rewrote this last night.
So, okay,
So
walk
this
us
is a
through what this is.
This is a channeled ability. Nike channels into a new stance, her barrier formation, and summons a shield in front of her.
Okay.
Oh, it's at a shield.
Shield blocks, it absorbs, like block stacks, all incoming range.
I couldn't see that.
Attacks. So you can run right at a hunter.
Dude, it's
or
Diva.
mages and just absorb. You will take
Oh
nothing,
my
no
Basic
God.
attack was the key.
basic attacks
Okay.
only.
Oh my
So
god.
she has the shield wall. We know people have been asking for this ability in
Yeah.
Smite for a really
Yes.
long time. It's important that we implement it in this way with basic
See,
attacks.
Nike's
'cause
issue
projectiles in
was
Smite do not
she just
work in a
kinda
way that
stood
is
there in a
absorbed like
fight.
this.
Now she can
Oh
stand
my
there
God.
Different
with her
categories just don't
shield.
work well with this type of
Wow.
shield interaction.
That's
That's very
insane.
cool. Was like a
Just
very
to absorb basic attacks. But
That
it
is
does a
very
lot
cool.
of other things. It also does damage and pushes enemy who get close in melee range.
What?
She's heavily slowed, so it's very hard
What
to
is
get
that?
multiple stacks on
That's
people in this
so-
regard.
Can she get
That's the most
CC?
pathetic
do
push I've
is
ever
assume
seen.
this
Can she get
frontline
CC'd or what?
formation in front of her team
I
and
hope
push
not. That's gonna be so
closer towards
bad.
enemy,
Dude,
blocking all
that's so
hunter attacks,
slow. No one's gonna get hit by that unless they're
and
stupid.
knocking back anyone else who tries to get into her team. So it gives her great peel. It gives her really good push. And you can even use this in really interesting applications in Wave. And finally, when the ability finishes, or if you refire it early, it detonates in that larger targeted area at the end. So even if you don't want any of those other effects,
It's
you can
so
just go
dumb.
2-2 real quick, just for a little extra burst damage.
How long does this last?
I wonder if it's gonna make
600.
Nike support or solo
You
better.
can cancel it
Cancel,
early if
you
you
can
choose
be
it.
crowd
or
control
I
death.
mean,
out
she
of it.
can
Still
group
got
the
that
wave with it now, so she can
does a lot
complete
of
it.
things.
But
It's a very interesting, it's a very unique ability.
they
Everyone
need
was
to
saying
change
that
her
Nike
free.
didn't
If they
have
haven't
like,
changed her free,
a
she's still
special
bad.
twist that
Yeah,
Nike
because it feels
has.
so slow.
This ability
It's
is
super
very
slow.
interesting and has a lot of unique applications that are different to other guys.
So
Does she-
blocks basic attack, sorry, also knocks people back if they get too close to her.
Let's see what to do.
And if she detonates again or at the end of this, it'll deal damage.
Because
You
now
can
they
see
changed
she
her
has
too.
slowed movement speed and
Her
even
wand does
slowed
less
counter
damage,
rotation. If you
and her
activate
ult
it in
does,
turn, it takes her
less
some
of a
time.
shield.
So it prevents sort of shake and bake.
Because if you
type of
use the
issues.
two,
Oh
you
yeah,
got-
way less shield.
Spinning the camera
Yeah, you had a
around that
60%
speed,
shield.
attempt to
Now
block
it's
things in
only
all
40
directions.
unless
Someone's
they've
gonna
changed
try
it.
that.
Yeah.
A
They are changing the
formation
free as well.
move in a consistent direction.
I'm disappointed I
Yeah.
can't spin in the
You,
spot.
you also lose the
That's-
bonus
that's
damage on the
quality.
one.
Okay,
Unfortunately.
well that's not it for Nike.
Which is
Obviously,
like
plan of action,
60,
there's the
which is
little
pretty
book
good.
of the rework. The Valiant Leap. This
Blue.
ability now will always travel
Oh.
at the fastest speed. So before you use the plan of action
Nice.
to get that faster speed, you're always
Isn't that
gonna
pretty
use
strong,
that
though?
faster speed.
That's really good.
And so
That's
the
much
mock-up
better.
and all the good stuff from that.
Yep.
Right?
Okay, and then also I've got Sentinel of Zeus. This ability no longer
Dude, that two
goes
looks
on
so fun,
cooldown
like you
if
knock
Nike
up and then you just push
dies
them.
during the warm-up time. Gain shield immediately.
We
is
did
what
it.
I've written down here.
The
Because
people
there used to be that issue where you could die as you were trying to ult.
Yes, so this ability will not.
Wait, didn't she get a cleanse anyway when she ults?
And that is
No.
quality of life fix. The ability
Are you
still
sure?
has the same
I
animation
thought they
as
changed
everything
it.
else, it's just
I don't think
She
so.
got
lose the
cleansed.
cooldown unless you get the shield.
Right.
We also
Full boom
adjust
speed
the
Nike,
shield.
dude.
Everything else got
Imagine
buffed
that. Boom best
immediately
Nike.
with plan of action.
Yeah, you're
This
just
one
pushing
is
them.
somewhat-
Yes.
without reading
Just giving
the
them a little
exact
Plan
shove.
of action previously was a 20% increase to the ultimate. Now it's always going to be a 10%, I believe, at all reps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Increase from previous numbers.
It's halfway in between the plan of action versions.
So it really feels like Nike got everything that she already had, a little bit toned down of a passive, well, quite a bit toned down of a
That's
passive.
pretty good.
But she got an extra ability to use, so to speak.
Yeah, there
I
we
mean,
go.
have you-
She was CC immune.
Plan of action
Oh,
is
thank
on
goodness.
100% of
At least
So
she
she
can maybe
had-
get played.
big buff.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a
especially because of the
50% shield
free
all
strikes
right.
as
That's
well.
pretty
Okay.
We're not all ranked,
but
late game.
Times.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Please
Yeah.
test this ability. Let us know your feedback. We would still be happy to make some small tuning changes to it. PTS.
That's nice.
Some small number of changes. It's a very.
I don't like how they've only added the 2 to deal with hunters.
One last thing I want to mention is that Plan of Action previously also had HPA 5 passive component and bonus damage to your next abilities. Because Plan of Action is completely
because like, if they don't
different,
pick a hunter, what am I doing?
Those are gone. So while it does look ridiculous,
That's
that
true.
Rend is happening 3 times. Previously with Plan of Action and Rend, you were getting bonus damage per hit, and you were getting passive HP 5. So those components being removed also will help the fact that we buffed all of our other abilities.
Losing that regen
is going to be a big deal.
If you're a Nike player, you might need to itemize a little differently around that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to move on as we've got still plenty more gods to go through. And the next one I'm going to mention real quick is Odin is going to get a small buff this patch to Raven Shout.
They should make it block
of the Raven Shout from 15 seconds.
abilities.
Wouldn't that be OP then, though?
That would be boosted, but if they don't have any
Well.
range damage, like what's the point of that ability?
Yeah, I mean, you can push them back.
That's traditionally been like
Give him a little shove.
heavy counter to a lot of things.
I suppose it's insane when you're defending sieges.
We brought some core power back to his other abilities.
Okay, that's it for Odin. We'll move on to Oleron next. Overflowing Divinity. We fixed a bug where the damage fall-off did not affect the magical power scaling on this ability. We've also increased the base damage per shot from 30 to 70. It's now going to be 35 to 95. Increased the magical power scaling per shot from 10%
Is
to
Oleron any good?
Hitting the same
I've not
enemy
played
with
him,
each shot
so
now
I have
does
no idea.
20% less damage per shot, increased from 10%. Decrease the minimum damage that each shot can do from 20% of total damage to 10%. This will cause shots to more quickly decay in damage while lowering the lowest damage they can deal. And the projectiles now start randomizing the hit location from the second projectile increased from the 5th. This is all about the second ability.
This is all about the refire of the second ability.
It's a lot of text. It's mostly just a bug fix and a slight buff to the first hit and a nerf to the later hits.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the bug fix had a lot to do also with like the top end damage it could deal.
Dude, this patch show is pretty long.
Hell yeah, MSI's got to go on as well.
For the most part, your first like 5 shots pretty much at all ranks will be doing more damage than before, which will help in cases where people are trying to run away or it's kind of hard to hit that ability unless people are CC'd. And in those cases where players are CC'd or on minions or jungle camps, it's going to be doing less damage overall.
I think that's fair. I think the first shot isn't generally the hardest because you don't really feel it. If someone stood still...
The only thing I've seen about Oleron is that his ultimate is quite OP, but everything else is not like that strong.
Astral Barrage
I feel like he has no way to escape other than his ult.
That does damage, from 50 to 100%. He's now going to be 70 to 100%. So an early game shift in second tier 2.
Oh my.
Reduce the damage from 200 to 660% scaling. Will now be 180 to 540.
Is that a buff or nerf then?
5%
That's a
of physical power scaling instead. So it's going to hit harder, but equal basically.
This one
that's a cheeky nerf.
Right. This one is a damage consistency pass.
Okay.
It kind of
right now his shots have extremely intense scaling between.
You know what skin they should make, Lasse?
No.
The total amount of damage his ultimate can deal
a construction worker Nike skin.
Okay. It's very close.
And then make a bulldozer whenever she uses it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Two references on a show.
That'd be sick.
Actually,
and like the ult she puts on a helmet.
He wanted
like
a
full gear.
He did a really nice pre-graph.
But what this is going to do is, first of all, it's going to make the first shot
What should a 1 be then?
more impactful.
Like she's laying construction down.
Construction pipes.
So
yeah.
Of course, it's still very important to hit all 3 to kill people, but just going to even him up a little bit. This god, an overwhelming large amount of people cannot perform with this god,
including the professionals. Trying
what
to
about
ultimate?
ultimate?
Yeah, so it's just a slight equalizing.
The next one on the list is
I don't know what the
Scotty.
animation
We'll go a little
should
bit more
be.
in detail on Scotty too.
Maybe
rework added in here too. Calder, first of all, the winter.
I know, like slamming the floor, then a bunch of bricks come up
Scotty gains
and like spread out.
Power.
I think that'd be pretty cool, but
oh no,
it's a lot of work.
He comes back.
Scotty gets angry and does more damage. Calder increased hit point regeneration as well from 7 seconds to 5 seconds, so he should be up a little bit more often. And that also, that will mean that you won't have that 10% increased physical power when that's regenerated as well. But then we'll move on to
that's a nice change.
reworkability. And make
it makes it a bit more smooth, right?
Yeah, that's a lot nice. I felt like I was waiting ages for him to come back.
Snowstorm summons around Scotty as she chooses a location for Calder to leap towards.
Oh.
No, he doesn't run.
This is nice.
Oh, that's OP now.
That's real nice.
Snowstorm also surrounds Calder.
It also felt so fucking awkward before.
Initial hit of either Snowstorm.
Did he heckin' flies?
Enemies
That's sick.
in the area. Calder resurrects if he is down and immediately leaps.
Scotty's
upon
kind of busted now,
ability
though.
Activation.
Yeah.
You can throw the ultimate.
She
is
always
basically
won
what that means,
1v1s.
guys.
Now,
This is a pure.
Wait, how do you get away from
first
that?
of all, thank you to the community for discussing with us these changes. They're
and he
very
gets
influenced
resurrected?
by Reddit, Twitter, Olympians.
See, the thing, you couldn't use your ult if he was dead, because he would just put it around you twice, which is bad.
So we're really
Now you
happy
can just
to
throw
make
him
her
at
feel way
people.
better to
That's
play.
awesome.
We gave her an additional passive. I'm pretty convinced that Calder is, as a passive is still quite potent, but now she has another one. So if you want to be a technicality,
Dude, that's so cool.
Have that point anymore to use
That's
it
actually
as
fucking cool.
passive. And now you don't have that quality of life problem where when you send Calder in, he gets turned around at the last second. You just whiff your whole ultimate. Now you can just aim that spot. He does.
There's
all
a
of the
pretty,
same damage, same
pretty
burst,
drastic
same
jump
duration,
she's doing though,
same
or the
health
duck is
heal.
doing.
He just goes to the spot you choose.
Yeah,
So it's
wait,
gonna
can you
add
throw it over
lot
a wall?
of control.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
And if
It
Calder
just
was already
I don't
attacking
think
that target and use the ultimate there, he won't like leap again. He will just do it immediately, like he did before. So
I
it's
hope
strictly
so.
a quality of life increase.
Definitely play around with this in the PTS, guys, because it's something that you want to have fun with. And
The thing
have-
is, that's like
and
a
actually
huge
experiment
route.
with to see how effective this will.
I mean, does it root everybody or only the target that hits?
Oh, no, it's everybody. It's also everyone around, Scotty. So that's huge.
Just fucking send the duck in as like a suicide freezer. Holy shit.
Yeah, it is. That's like a
Suicide
terror
freeze.
route.
Yeah, what the fuck?
This patch. What's
What's
main
up,
goal
Regain?
with Thor here, guys?
What's poppin', dude?
Well, Thor has a couple passes. Specifically, we want to bring something more unique to his theming. Just add more to his character. He has some themes and some ideas and some visuals, but they're not super conveyed through all of his abilities. We're going to add a new element that really ties that all together.
Let's see what it does now.
Yeah, element, like, quite literally. And we just want his kit to flow a little better. We want to. I guess the way we described it is, his kit has some very specific purposes. We're trying to make his kit better at what it's supposed to do.
Okay. Well, let's see how this works out then. First of all, we'll start off with the passive Mjolnir's Attunement. Fix an issue where players at max range would be hit by an initial hit. Sorry, not the... That's the one.
Yep,
fix the initial hit by not...
But not by the return.
But not by the
Yeah,
return
so
hit.
this is the
so this
max
is the ghost
range.
hits,
Yeah,
right?
so
Ghost hits, whiffed hits.
This is when it hits
Yeah,
it,
so
and
you
then
throw it out, you'd
it
hit
hits him
someone,
when
and they'd only take
in
one
the
source
end.
of damage, which
I
doesn't
guess
make
yeah,
sense
that's
because
and then at the
when
end
they
it's just gonna hit
initial
both times
they
now.
should be hit by the return hit.
Exactly.
And if they were hit by just the return hit, why didn't the initial hit
Yeah,
hit?
Pon, why?
It's fixed.
Well, we fixed it.
Better had
This is
BT.
another one that was
Nice.
tough to track down, been in the game forever, but
Took
this
us
is-
6
this is big.
seasons, but we made it.
We
That's
did
the
it.
main
Well, we
thing.
hope so.
Berserker's Barrage is what we're going to move
This
on
is
to
a
next. And
big
this is
That's
an
a big
ability
one.
to rework. With rework, this ability says here, Thor spins his hammer around him, dealing damage to enemies in front of him up to 3 times, and those behind him up to 2 times. The final swing deals extra damage. Thor is immune to knock-up for the duration. The cooldown's been reduced from 11 seconds to 8 seconds. The mana cost has gone down as well. The damage per hit has been changed. And the final damage swing is
That looks
a
so weird.
different variation than the normal damage swing. I'm not going to read every number.
I
off
think
there,
there's
guys.
speed mode on by now.
But as you can see, it's very quick here, guys.
Well-
and
That is the key.
the CD
That last
is also
swing
much lower.
looks so
Yeah,
clunky.
cooldown's lower, the damage comes out quicker.
When he auto
and
attacks
this
after
does a
it.
few things. One, it increases his clear speed overall as a whole. It lets him
Look how
be more
fast
of a
he is. I think
brawler,
there's speed mode
he
on.
can get in, and if you fight him more regularly, he gets us up more quickly. And also,
His
it removes
burst
a lot
is
the
kind of
weird
insane
cases.
with
If you're
that,
if you're a
actually.
Thor main, you often have to know that. Okay, I'm gonna get 2 ticks and
Like, you
immediately cancel
land,
it
throw
because
the hammer
actually
free.
Basic attacking is more efficient,
Sure.
and I also know
Oh, yeah, you're right, they're so quick.
Final tick because the final tick lasts long.
I think that's
There's a
speed
lot
mode
of
on.
weird interactions that occur with how long the
They're cheating.
Basically, the long channel time creates some weird gameplay scenarios.
Right.
Shortening it up means it's a very responsive, snappy ability. It's useful just to quickly throw out. It doesn't interfere too much with your combo, and it helps make your combo actually flow a bit more fluidly as a whole. And this should just overall help Thor
Yeah,
feel better.
It also reduces the variability a little bit because one of the problems with this.
It needs to
ability
give
is that
like
if
an
you
area.
let
How,
it go for the entire
how does
game,
it hit in the
does
end?
A lot of damage
Like, it
multiple
doesn't
Yeah,
show
it's
that,
like-
right?
Yeah, but if
The
you, if you
ending
get silence, you get
is,
crowd control almost right
what's
at
the best way
beginning
to
of it,
show
you're
it?
getting almost nothing.
After
Now,
Like
after
RTO
with
1.
this, does it still feel the
Yeah,
same
exactly. exactly, but you need to see that, right?
Yeah, like I have no idea what that's in.
Berserker Barrage from
But that
before.
never
Because
happens.
that
I
more
would
was
say
like
the damage
1,000.
feels like it's gone up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also has more time to basic attack too.
Wait,
so
the
you can
damage went
auto-do
down.
the spin auto, which helps make up for that damage loss and actually exceed it.
Get those cancels in there.
Yeah, one last thing is that there's actually another, a different kind of component to this ability, which is a little bit different than anything we've done, where the third hit in front does more damage than the other 2 hits, which means you want to be tracking your enemy and also having them.
Is it just me or the hammer looks further?
So aim at the target you're trying to
Keep your aim through the end. Yeah, that's a big change.
I don't know, dude.
Are used to, you can kind of spin away.
Yeah.
I wonder if is that more damage or what?
But that helps encourage players.
I mean,
to
if
follow
you get the
those
basics
basics,
in,
make us
yeah,
flow
but
together. But now let's get to the thunder.
altogether, probably not.
Anvil of Dawn is going to have a new component. After Thor lands from his ultimate, his hammer Mjolnir is infused
they changed
with
the ult.
lightning.
Oh, there's gonna be from
State,
Avengers
each of his
4,
basic
Marvel's 4.
attacks chain lightning to nearby enemy gods, damaging them with each hit. It'll scale from 20 to 60 plus 50% of your
What
physical
the
power
fuck, dude?
and lasts 6 seconds. Enemies hit
Oh,
by
no.
this lightning
What's that, Waddy?
will take 50% damage from the subsequent lightning.
Why have they
Not
gave
only your
him
basic
Pele?
attacks, but your abilities too.
Yeah, if
Oh,
Mjolnir
abilities
hits,
is wait,
I actually like that. What about the ultimate?
happens to be every.
No, what about his hammer?
But, and basic attacks.
Dude, imagine his
That's what I
hammer.
mean.
His whip, because that's not,
Oh,
damaging it.
oh,
Oh!
He was getting chain
Oh, I
lightning
thought it was just
on
basic.
Wait, isn't this like old Red Dash?
as well as all 3 spins.
Yeah, well, kind
Old
of, yeah.
Red Dash, and it's just boom, boom, boom.
Wait, that's a duration as well.
Dude,
Which is
imagine,
also why that
imagine,
not like a-
every
oh
subsequent
my-
hit
imagine being
takes
full
down
power 4.
assists, because as you can see, this can do a lot of damage,
Dude,
but it
that's
only works
sick.
on enemy gods. So if there's minions in the way, you're not blowing
So
everyone
well
up.
work on minions.
Exactly.
Okay, they won't. Will the lightning jump to minions at all? Or is it only jump to gods only? Okay. Does that work on jungle camps and things as well?
I thought it only
So
worked
the
on
lot
basics.
comes
I'm
in-
glad they changed
Right,
it.
sorry, the arc
But having like a
goats.
6-second
only
buff where you
You
do
can't
that
use it
is
on
kind of
fire giants
insane.
about-
But if it hits on the hammer as well, isn't that...
Okay. So that's
It hits double on the hammer as well.
Yeah, that's
No, it hits on every 3 as well.
Next on the
Oh
list.
my god,
This is gonna
dude.
be
Wait, did it hit on the
Yeah.
wall? Show me the wall.
Tough hieroglyphic assault. Every time an enemy god is hit by this ability,
Holy
the ability's
shit.
cooldown is reduced upon finishing by 1 second. This can only proc once per ability fire and cannot proc from multiple gods hit in the same projectile. We've also reduced the damage per shot from 45 to 125. It's now going to be 40 to 120 and lower scaling too.
I don't understand that.
Hitting an enemy with this ability
Reduce
reduces
damage
the
per shot.
they take from each subsequent shot by 20%. Walk me through real quick in layman's terms.
I guess it's too much poke or what?
Goth has an interesting balance history.
There's no
He
way
was
they're
never
nerfing
really
it.
performing that
No,
well.
no, if you hit more of your ones, then it does more damage every time.
Strong. So he was
Oh, okay,
undertrained
that's
quite a
kind of
bit.
cool.
We're trying to bring him back, and we're trying to focus on very specifically how we bring him back.
Okay.
And that is through rewarding skill shots. This is what he's designed to do. So what essentially what happened here is hieroglyphic assault got nerfed. To put it in the simplest senses, its base damage got nerfed, which is strange, right? Okay, the god's already suffering.
Sure.
But what we're doing here is we're.
But he's less
rewarding
clear now,
the
so that's pretty bad.
For hitting successive hits.
Oh, actually, maybe not on minions,
So now
right?
that the
If
base
it
damage
works
is
on
nerfed,
minions, that's cool.
that's fine. But if you end up hitting all 3 targets, that damage is going to ramp up, and you're going to get up to 3 seconds off the next cooldown of hieroglyphic assault. So he'll be firing more hieroglyphic assaults, and the damage will be ramping up if you hit the 1.
Dude, I wanna try 4, just stack up 5 people and just hit all your shit. And then just lightning everything down.
I don't wanna see that. You better not pick that in my games.
Twice? Okay, now I really need a juke. Those types of feels are really fun, as well as lets Thoth fire the ability more often, which is really important for frustration reasons. Like one big ability that one-shots you one time, that's really frustrating. But if you get hit by 20 skill shots and you die, then you kind of understand why you died.
So if the Tough player is more effective at landing the ability, he's going to be able to fire more. But if he's not as good at landing the ability, or
I
he's
really
only
like the
juking
changes
more,
so far.
you can
They're actually very
potentially
cool.
punish him for that.
Right, exactly.
Like
And also,
Nike,
because this
Thor,
extra rule only works on enemy
who else could
gods,
change?
you're actually going to be
Scotty,
doing less damage to
and what
minions
was your
because we did nerf the base damage and the scale. So that means that his extremely potent early game that he has once he gets his
Isis.
ball, extremely safe.
Isis
you know,
seems pretty
high damage,
nice
is gonna
as
be
well.
less than it was before. So it's really going to help him scale up towards the late game where he should shine.
Well, we'll see how Tough does on that.
Is that the only
TS2.
thing they do to
We'll move on then
Tough?
to Raven, who's going to get a small change.
What the
in
fuck,
his
he didn't
patch.
do
Not
anymore?
much of one here, but
Yeah, he's
Ravana,
still not getting it big.
10-hand Shadow Fist, decrease the
I
cooldown
don't
from
think.
18 seconds to
What the
16
fuck?
seconds. I guess that's just to make him a little bit more consistent along with the other junglers.
What's up, Ola Bear? What's good? What's good?
And also trying to avoid buffing the things that are frustrating about him, like his evasion ability, right? Like we want to bring some power to him, but we don't want to bring power to like his backflip that causes him to be immune to damage, or his ultimate that lets him engage really heavily. Just more consistency overall on his core kit.
And the final god.
One more.
Finally got to the final god.
There's been a lot of fucking gods.
This patch is going to be Zeus. Yes, he's the last on the list. The passive added text to show duration of.
When are they showing the skins?
And new component to detonate.
Oh, they have to go through all the skins as well, or what?
I hope so.
Holy shit, dude, that's a long patch.
Of
here we go.
seconds before the enemy is hit with damage. What? Is that going to be... Notice how aggro could be heard from across the room because he knows exactly... There's going to be a little lightning.
Why have they nerfed
visual and auditory?
Visual and auditory
Wait a
clarity.
second. You did a nerf to Zeus. Is he just got a new
so
skin?
bad.
What is this?
Right? I don't know.
How are we supposed to sell them?
So Zeus is really
You
strong.
can actually egg it now.
I've been seeing him in SPL. Oh, you know, people used to think
Yeah,
like
you get
it was impossible to egg it before. You can egg it now.
He's now really strong in all modes. We wanted to take this opportunity to help with a key
Why have they done
frustration
that?
point and visual clarity point.
I mean, wasn't he pretty OP?
Kind of been wanting to do for a long time. So
no one picked him,
no
right? Information.
I guess. But in cash, this is OP.
At any point,
you don't even know when to age. In fact, it was kind of like a...
No, I don't have to guess. I mean, it's kind of like just a quality update, right? Because you couldn't Aegis it before. Like, you just had to randomly Aegis and hope for the best.
That's still so
yeah, true, but now
when that first lightning bolt shows up,
you still get the same damage, yeah?
You still get the same damage, but it's gonna feel so weird playing it. Like, for me, it's gonna feel like I'm lagging. Because I'm pressing the free, I'm like, yeah, damage.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue, but that's just me.
Very clear indicator when you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
So this is
I like the animation though. It's a cool animation.
Yeah.
Damage output or cooldowns or anything in any way. It's purely visual feedback.
See, maybe they should have just added the animation, but keep the.
That's not gonna change.
You're not gonna notice any
change.
No, because it did instantly, right?
Thor, Zeus.
So,
I mean, but that little blue lightning that comes from the ceiling.
Yeah.
They could just add that when he uses his free, right?
Yeah, but there has to be a delay before it hits, right? I guess there already was that, like a very small delay.
We just wanted to make sure that everyone's clear that we're doing the show
maybe we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, it's fine.
Normally, PTS would be ready tomorrow.
It's nice that you can Aegis it now.
Yeah, for sure.
On our social media, I do not have confirmation yet when it will be, but I know people expect it after the patch show. But I want to remind people we're daily, so we need that. We might need that one day.
Cool.
This is a lot of stuff.
Well, keep an eye on social media. We'll try and give you an update on when PTS out. The sooner we can get it to you, we will. With that, though, we're going to take a quick break, and here's a little look at what we've got coming in the Battle Pass.
Show me skins.
Aww. Sweetie pie.
Wait, what? Wait, where's the Sylvanas skin?
It's gonna be there soon.
Oh, they're still showing. That's me and you on the bus.
We're gonna be playing on the bus, dude. We're gonna be SPL on the bus. And now on the rooftop, dude.
Where else would you play it? I'm always playing Smite on the rooftop.
Everybody, welcome back. It's time to get towards the skin section. I hope you've all recovered from the horrible, devastating news of a
terrible
I love
Agro's hair.
I know. It was going so well before that.
It looks pretty nice.
Patch,
maybe the hair to the left is like not supposed to go out.
So sad. I'll get over it eventually, but we've got to get some of the skins and to go over the new.
Maybe I can't really tell anymore. I'm so used to it.
On the couch, we've got Tina, Vivian, and Tori joining us. Everybody, welcome. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to move pretty quick because MSI looms. So let's start with this battle pass. And Vivian, let's start with you. Sweet Victory, the theme of this battle pass. Run us through it.
Okay, so like the last battle pass, we created a world for this one as well.
Echo's hair looks a bit messed up.
This time, it is a world where the digital entertainment media has taken over, and they are like the big.
Wait, now they're doing skin shite, right?
So, the world is
I think so. This is what I'm here for.
So there are the people who accept and
here we go,
new
Lasse.
way of living, and then there's those who are kind of stuck in the past, like what it used to be the good old times, basically.
Okay.
I have to turn the stream up. I want to listen to the lore.
Several skins that kind of covers like those who really embrace the new way, those who are kind of like in between, and then those who are kind of like, well, this is let me remind you how it is.
Okay, I can dig it. Let's start with the very first one then, and that's Power Up Hera. You guys have probably seen a lot of this teaser art and that kind of stuff. Tina, I think I saw this on your Twitter page as well. She's a reigning arcade champ who also battles in the bot dueling arena along with her companion pilot, Widget. That's a cute cat name. Look, guys, I've got a question for you right away. Khepri and Kuzenbo have been looking for a gun for a long time, and we gave Hera one first. What's the deal with this? Okay, just wait indeed. There's Widget. That's so.
Look at Widget. No, you have to close up on him inside.
He is so cute. Yeah, look the cat.
Look at him.
Dude, he is
so angry.
Fierce. Yeah, he is.
She doesn't look like Hera anymore.
For sure, 100%. I love the
Wait, he
blue
does
and
a
pink
front
effects.
flip?
We've done that. I think it kind of reminds me of the Discordia.
Those
skin
are really
or
cool
something like
animations.
that,
I love the little
absolutely love
squares,
it.
the cubes that come
Certainly
off.
works well here. I see that we have a VXG on this one that I definitely want to get to right away.
That skin's definitely getting banned, I think.
The best spell?
Maybe.
I think so, just because of how different they
Oh, what the fuck?
He's flying around with me.
What the
Wait.
fuck?
I love the
What?
just floating
What the
through.
fuck, dude?
I love it. Let's take a listen to voice back
They
here.
they do a really good job with these special emotes. I actually love them.
Great team.
Dude,
They're
that's
so
sick.
cool.
Attack. Defend. Oh, come
Holy
on.
shit.
You're not gonna back away now, are ya? You're so bad at RPGs. When somebody asks you where you're stuck, you say, the file select screen.
Leave a laugh, man.
There you have it right there, Hera. We're going to see more of this a little bit as well.
Oh, this skin looks
stay
so
tuned
sick
for
as
that.
well.
We also have Fun Apocalypse.
Dude, you're so far ahead of me. I'm still in Hera.
Oh, refresh it, refresh it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
I'm refreshing as well now.
It's kind of creepy.
Yes.
It's a little
Makes me
unsettling.
I hope he has a special
Thank
emotes.
A little bit.
Brad Venable voiced this character, and he's voiced many very great, a lot of SMITE characters already. And I basically told him to sound like he's on.
Okay.
I wonder what the ultimate's gonna look like. Nothing different.
Once you listen to it, you will
I actually haven't even
understand.
heard it yet.
It might be.
Oh, well, I just saw
I mean,
Yeah,
you can't really
you
do
can
much to his skin, right? Like, to Shiba, there's not much you can do with skins.
I mean, you don't really wear the bunny
He
head.
does
like,
look cool
chill.
though.
Yeah, it
It
does.
sure looks cool.
Like, no one does that casually.
If you went through what he went through in this
Exactly,
new world,
exactly
I am
this.
sure you.
That's a
Yeah,
great
you gotta
point.
get through it.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
You're good. Hells yeah.
Hells yeah.
The best.
I'm the best.
I don't like your head. You could use a new one. I think mascots are the hardest roles for actors to play. They have to really get into their characters.
It looks like he has a new weapon here as well. Oh, we'll take a look at it later. Yeah, we got. Hey, like I said, we got to keep it rolling here. That the balance section quite extensive on the mid-season patch. Sweetie Pie Soul next up on the list. This one is a recolor of the Sweet Tooth Soul skin, so very similar to that. You know it, you love it. Just looks a little bit different. If you're a fan of blue,
She's just a blueberry now.
Dude, that special mode on Hero is so
I
sick.
prefer blueberry bubblegum.
Wait, this is Sol skin on
Yeah, blue raspberry. Yeah.
Yeah.
the Sweet Soul.
So
That's
yeah,
already in
they
the
just
game.
recolored it.
We also have Sweet Justice Nemesis. This one, an interesting one for Nemesis. Number one, you can see her eyes. That's a big deal.
Only one.
It's like the first
Only
time.
one.
Yeah.
So
You only
She
get one.
cute.
still, I mean, you get that's one more than we've seen
Ooh,
before.
she
Right?
cute.
Yeah, that's
Shoot your shot,
100%
Lasse.
more
Shoot
eyes.
your
That
shot.
is not
Oh my god.
give me the backstory.
That's
behind
an insane
this.
skin.
I love
You know what's
that idea.
sad?
This one's, like,
Your
real
stream
tricky
loads
because
the
not only
mixer
is it,
stream
like,
up
so
before
different
my
from all the
actual
first
mixer
skins
stream.
So far, it's
Oh, I'm
actually
watching on
designed
Twitch.
by
Oh,
our,
wait, they're doing a
lead
Twitch stream?
character
Yeah.
artist who actually don't
Wait, you got a link? That would explain it.
So he's
Just,
pretty good with
slash skill shot.
and this one just came out, like,
Oh,
super
okay,
nice.
alright, what's it?
And her lore
I'll
is
find
that
it.
she's the one that's kind of in between the old way and the new ways, and she's really into wizardry.
I think I got it.
Okay.
She also owns a candy shop, so she
We
likes
just
to
Yeah,
slash
I'm
skill
done.
shot.
find the next new social media item. So she accidentally created a Candy Soul and Ice Creamy Mirror.
Attack!
Oh. She created Soul in Your Mirror. That's dope. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Nemesis.
I am in awe. You can thank me later. I should transform you into a chocolate bunny. They are rather tasty. Why don't angry witches ride their candy?
We didn't see the ultimate yet, did we?
Because they're afraid of flying.
No, I didn't see it.
That sword looks like, do you know those sugar canes you can eat?
Underrated. I like that.
Yeah.
I might be in the minority there, but
Pretty cool.
I'll hop out on the
Or recolor again.
We also have Rematch Hera, and this might look pretty familiar to you. This is part of the prestige track of the Battle Pass, which is a new sort of system. Tina, why don't you run us through it?
So we added 60 additional levels to the Battle Pass. Once you complete the base Battle Pass, and you feel like, you know, wanting more of a challenge or just grinding, you can go all the way up another 60 levels.
That's pretty cool, and then you just get recolors and stuff.
Hera skin that is the one on the screen right now.
Yeah, that's Rematch Hera.
Oh, it's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a recolor, right? But it's still pretty nice.
So once you complete the Battle Pass, you'll
God, I love
reset
those
at
animations.
level 1 on the new Prestige track. It'll get easier again, just like you're starting the Battle Pass from level 1. Now, free players can also earn Prestige progress, so you don't have to buy into the Battle Pass in order to try and get towards Rematch Hera. And the usual free and premium tracks have not had any changes to their XP requirements or pricing, and rewards are generally in the same places as the previous passes.
That's been nice.
So that's just a cool, different, prestigious look for that Hera skin. We got some more skins coming up right after this, but first we got to throw it over to Isaiah and Hindu Man over on the desk.
We do, and apologies again for how quick we're going through some of this stuff. It's just, we've got a tournament to go on to as well. Joined now, however, by Isaiah to go through some community and esports news. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How about you, Henry?
Yeah, not so bad. Are you okay on social media so far today?
I'm doing good. Everyone's super hyped.
That's a good news. Yeah. Well, let's start off then with a little bit more hype news. There is actually an Ultimate God Pack sale going on at the moment, or coming soon?
No, it's going on right now on Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. The Ultimate God Pack is 50% off. It's a crazy deal. If you don't have the Ultimate God Pack, I don't know what you're doing.
That God Pack is so worth it to buy.
No sense not to have this. In all honesty,
yeah, it's such a good deal if you play the game.
Every single time a new God comes out, you'll get it free, and you don't have to grind the favor to pick it up or buy gems for it. Get the God Pack. You've got a chance now, 50% off on Switch and Xbox One.
You have the God Pack, Shelby? Dude, the God Pack is worth it, man.
Prime offer, which we've been doing consistently.
Yeah.
I heard there's a rumor that this is extended.
Yeah, it got extended. So it was supposed to end last week, but our friends over at Twitch were like, you know what? Let's extend it for another month. So you guys still have until July 29th to claim
that's
that
pretty sick.
Darkness Hades bundle, and that unlocks all of the Twitch Prime skins that we've done this year. So everything you see on your screen, you get it for free.
Not gonna lie, Isaiah. I forgot to do that yet.
Oh, well, you've got just enough time.
If I've
that's sick. How do you feel about the 4 change? I think 4 is going to be pretty OP. Time to grind on 4 now.
And last, but certainly not least, I've got down here Olympians Summit. What's this about?
So we've got our SMITE Player Council, the Olympians, a group of 9 players that were elected by you, the community, to serve as a player council and gather feedback and help us at Titan Forge
What's up, Thomas?
make SMITE even better. So our inaugural summit is happening next week. We're flying all 9 members of the summit to Hi-Res Studios for 3 days filled with workshops, breakout sessions, and they're going to help us with our plans for 2020 in SMITE to make sure that we've got...
That's pretty cool to get the opportunity to fight them out and...
You blame the Olympians.
Nah, don't blame the Olympians.
That's what they're there for, right? They're to save us the problem.
That's pretty fucking nice.
Well, then, if it's not only that, boys and girls, esports is going on as always. SMITE is very, very focused on esports, and Day 2 of the MSI will continue straight after this and get to see which...
What they do to 4? Oh, you gotta watch that for yourself, Thomas, dude. It's actually insane. They changed this 3 to be a spin that spins 2 times to then turn into a hit. That does a cleave attack. And then his ultimate now gives his hammer a lightning hammer. So his auto attacks, his hammers, does like a chain lightning whenever they hit.
You all know him, you all love him. Look, if Wolfdog's here, that means we've got some extra 6 skins designed by Wolfdog to go over.
I mean, what didn't they do to 4?
They made him OP, bro.
Yeah, he's pretty darn good.
It's a sick Zeus skin.
Aww.
Zappy,
I love the little
he's so cute
peacock
and so lovable. What? Like, look at him. I don't care if this peacock's mad because he looks good.
Well, he's got Shiba passive.
This is smart of you to
he has Hera's effects.
Pair these two things
He's OP, dude.
Because now I feel a little bit better about myself.
Wait, you see the cubes, right?
I'm not quite as sad.
The cubes?
On that.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle.
What the fuck?
What the heck?
Oh man, that's great.
Stop it.
Alright, I'm playing Zeus. I don't care if you got changed.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Tori,
That is the best thing I've
seen.
seen.
The animation side, is it kind of hard to match some of the animations, these tiny little models like this?
Yes.
Man, how many games is there today as spell-wise?
We have to go back and refix
I
a lot
think
of the
there's
animations
2.
because the scale.
But there's a third match as well, it says.
It's always a lot of
Are they
fun,
playing
kinda
the...
challenging in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Zappy Chibi Zeus.
Attack! Wow, show off! Woohoo! Like I said, God of Gods. Do you even know who you're looking at? Yeah, the Master of Olympus. You know, I wish Medusa would stop objectifying people.
That's a good joke. I like that. I like that joke. That was funny.
You know who voiced that?
Who is that?
Chris Abbott.
Really?
Yeah, it's Chris
My
Abbott.
boy. My boy. Of course. We no one better for the Zeus skin. I love it. All right, Spirit Sun Ho Yi. Next up on our list.
Oh, it's seeding game.
This color palette is super awesome. There's red Ho Yi.
I don't know if you
skin,
can
there's
cancel
green Ho Yi
for
skin.
free.
Now we
Can
get
you?
this celestial blue.
On the new one or what?
Sort of
Yeah, the new one.
I don't
Doing
know.
a bit of ramen
I
impersonation here.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
That looks
works
pretty
for
cool,
him.
the skin.
That alt targeter looks sweet.
Oh wow.
That's
gorgeous.
Are those meteors or crystals? I don't really care. Crystals. Okay, I'm down with that. Oh yeah, the shattering effect on the 3 as well. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm getting it now. It's all starting to come together. Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah.
You know. All right, let's take a listen to the voice pack here for Spirit Sun Ho Yi.
Attack! You show potential. Woohoo! Yes, I am the best. I am ready to test my skills. Are you? Power level 1000 watt? No, no one really measures power like that.
All right, next up we have Snow Strix Raw. A different style for the Raw, man. Normally the blazing hot sun god. Now the freezing cold snow owl. I love it.
Why is the snow skins coming out now? Like the glacial skins.
It kind of fits with that.
I'm not sure. Maybe they're getting ready for winter. I love the ice skins though. I love
Holy
everything.
shit.
That looks nice.
Super excited for this. Actually, you probably didn't know this, but my first favorite animal was actually owl.
Really?
Yeah. Not a
Owl.
Owls are cool, man.
Very excited for this skin.
That's super cool.
This is definitely the one for you then. A little snowstorm in the 3.
Dude, you can make an ice team
sound great.
soon.
I mean, they definitely fit.
A team full of ice.
You can.
The cracking sound.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Beautiful.
Well, you got
He does have a
Raw,
VXG
Arteo,
that I want to take a
Agni.
look at for sure.
Is that it? Who else we got?
Yumi Scotty.
And then he gets
You
to
mean
skate
Scotty?
around. Yeah, sign me up for some of that.
Yeah, Rusty knocked this one out of the park.
That is
Holy
so
shit,
sweet.
dude.
VXGs
I was
are
hoping he
OP.
would
Can I
ice
say
skate,
that?
I'll be
Like,
honest.
it really does. Once
kinda
your
is.
favorite god is a cool VXG, like
Kinda?
He is ice skating. He's actually skating on ice.
Just hide in the bush.
I just love the bush.
Astonishing. Nothing you can
I
do
know.
about
I love
that.
the over-the-top
Yeah,
special
animation
shots.
is the
They're my
best
favorite.
VXG parts, yeah.
I am Winter Storm. Come on, you aren't that daft to take me on, are you? Wait till I tell you about my battle today. It was a hoot.
Come on, man. Don't be laughing at that. That was to me, by the way. I laughed at that.
Are you listening to his laughs?
Yeah, the laugh is great. Raw has to have a great laugh. That's just part of it. Perfect.
Unlucky,
done.
dude.
Well done,
It's a new
Tina.
voice actor I used too, so it's hard to tell him like
Oh, Erlang.
crazy Raw's
Dude,
laughs are.
Right.
So,
Erlang fucking still
All right, Wolf Dog, we're
popping.
starting off with your first one of your skins of the patch, Molten Shogun Erlong Shen. Erlong been desperate for a skin for a while.
Yes.
What inspired you?
Oh, I wonder
for-
what his
for this sort of
transformations are
style
going to be.
for him?
So one of the things I've heard all the time on Reddit and Twitter and everything is they want Erlang to have more of a sort of Oriental feel. So I try to go with a little more Asian style armor, a little more points, and then sort of fit in that flaming sort of texture to it. So really glad I got to do this skin because I got.
Did you see that team when they got pin banned?
Yeah, yeah, they buff Scarly and then they kick him off the game.
Absolutely. Not quite a wolf, but
what the fuck?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Exactly. Not yet on that one.
That's a pretty cool skin.
That is sweet. I mean, Erlong has really needed one for a while. I know some people in the community have been bugging me in particular to try and get this god a skin, and now they can stop asking me. You know, now
That's
we're good
really
to go.
cool, actually.
A fiery mink.
That looked more like a dragon.
It's like a little. That is.
Oh,
sweet.
that taunt.
I love it. And Erlong's like so cheery.
He saw this OP with that skin. They keep moving.
Like, hey, it's me, Erlong Shen. And now he's like.
He's got a lot of funny
I swear the skins
like
this year have been
serious.
so
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
And the theming works well with the fire. Definitely not the first thing that I would have thought of, but I think it works beautifully here. Really awesome. Let's take a listen to the voice
Could
back.
have been better. I guess you're adequate. I am the greatest. You dare question who's the best? Torture is my middle name.
He has like a hellmink.
Does a burning ember like to sing? Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
There you have it, Erlong. Back in the skin game, Molten Shogun, Erlong Shen. And then we have Infantry.
Infantry.
Yes. It's a great pun, number one. But Wolfdog, this is your
fantastic.
Oh, because he's a tree.
This is your sort of creation as well. It's awesome, man.
Oh,
it's so cool. The pun
That's
aside,
so cool.
just an awesome idea for a completely off the wall skin idea.
There's a lot of fire on there.
Absolutely love this.
Yeah, I can't see in that. I'll be honest.
Holy shit!
I love this. They captured all the burning trees and everything like that from the Ardennes.
The auto attacks are more fire than this one.
It's great. I mean, your other,
yeah, the
you
auto
the
attacks may need
that's kind of World War I inspired.
bit of
that
tweak.
must
I
be
can't see.
A favorite of yours.
Yes, yep. That's a favorite.
Let's see if it's gonna be fire ultimate.
The infantry. So
was that a medal?
Right
I think one of my favorite things is
a
that
metal clink noise
this
for the
time around we got to fit the Doughboy helmet on his head.
Yep. Don't have to worry about two heads.
The
like
two looks really cool.
Right.
I suppose.
On
Tori,
allies.
is Sylvanas one of the harder ones to animate for? Because it's, I mean, Sylvanas himself is the tiny guy on top, not the big tree that you see.
Well, luckily with this one, we didn't have to do too much back and forth since it stayed similar to the original model. But Allie did the VXG for him, and I'm sure that was a real challenge to do, but she totally killed it.
Well, here is that VXG.
Oh.
And he's going to work, dude. He's setting up everything, jumping around.
Oh,
that
nice.
is way more Sylvanas movement than we've seen on just about
He's
every
getting
other
shot.
skin. That is awesome.
Wait, what the fuck?
That's fantastic.
Where's the new Nike 2 when you need it? Block the
That
autos.
is so cool. Let's take a listen to the voice pack for him.
A right shot!
What the fuck?
Yes! I am the best! Nobody has gotten past Grover and I. Why will you be different?
That's pretty cool. Honestly.
No matter which way you march,
Sylvanas got some good skins. You got like this and the Bob Ross one. Oh wait, Sylvanas has an ice skin.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's a great.
That's pretty rare, isn't it?
Sylvanas also
Yeah, put
underrated
Sylvan on the
lap
team.
character. Just
Great
so you know.
accent
Seriously.
too. That's amazing.
Yeah, the accent
Love those
phenomenal.
voice lines.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's take a listen to, or take a look at rather, Great Tengu Kernanos, our final skin of the pack.
Tango.
Kernanos, by the way.
What's that?
I totally forgot it was Kernanos.
Yeah, he's got a different look to him.
Oh yeah, I still thought it was set.
Yeah, I
saw
thought
this
I said
in
as well.
game last week, I believe.
Oh, that's so
Just
cool.
just
What
model
the fuck?
itself. And this little sword he's got on his back.
It looks
is
so
sweet.
silly, but that's so
I'm
cool.
about that, man. I wish I could just like carry around a little tiny sword. I don't know what I'd do with it, but
Oh, that's pretty
you
cool.
know, fine.
Slash bitches, dude.
I
Yo,
would not
if
do
his
that.
ult
That's
turns
not
him
what
into
I would
little
do.
koi
Maybe
fish,
you
I'm
would
gonna be
do
so
it, not
hyped.
me. Little
Oh
gardens
my
and-
god.
He turns him into koi
no.
fish.
How the fuck did you know that?
That's amazing.
Yes, they're all floppy and shit.
They're very.
I saw it in the card
As
art, but I
they
didn't think
should
they'd
be.
actually do it.
Yeah, I
That's
love those troll
insane.
skins that take
That's so
animals and
troll,
turn them
dude.
into other animals.
That is so troll. What's up, Sparman? Long time no see. How you doing, buddy?
Guard in the bitch.
Dude, that is so troll.
That is amazing. You can put the fish in the garden. Oh, how nice.
That's such a cool skin.
That's not really where fish usually go, but I can kind of get about it.
Oh my
In
goodness.
case you weren't whoa, okay.
All right.
That we're cool with this. Yeah, just
Dude, imagine for the damage.
Glaive.
I love how he's switching through all his stances right there.
Imagine for the started damage.
In case you guys weren't aware, I clearly knew this for sure, but Tengu are legendary creatures from Japanese myth, often known for stirring up trouble, but also as masters of swordsmanship.
They should change his horns color as well when he uses one. That'd be sick.
Oh, that would be cool.
There you have it. Let's take a listen to the voice pack here for great Tengu Kurnanos.
No hesitation. Bow to my blade. Your spirit shines. The drums of war thunder. Don't bother giving your name.
Pretty sick skins, dude.
No one will remember you anyway.
I swear, the skin team always kills it.
Yeah, for sure.
There you have it. It's great Tengu Kurnanos. An insane patch. I mean, my booklet was only the skin section, and it was still thick. This doesn't have any of the balance section, which took an eternity because there was so many different changes. Yeah. If you missed all that, it'll be on our website. Make sure you go to our social media as well.
That is crazy.
PTS goes up tomorrow, they said, so make sure you check that out as soon as you can. And don't go anywhere because the Midseason Invitational is starting right after this. Don't go anywhere. I mean, the streams aren't even dropping, so we'll be right back with the Midseason Invitational. Thanks so much for watching the Midseason Update Patch Show. And
that's crazy. I'm doing pretty good spare, thanks. Oh my god, dude. I get the clipping.